to school. 3 o'clock in the parking lot. You try and run, I'm gonna track you down. You go to a teacher, it's only gonna get worse.
Welcome to the Inland Sports Show. Your leader in sports in the Inland Empire.
The Riverside.
Now, here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
It is Monday, and we cannot thank you enough for starting your week with us. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. It's the flagship. We were here first. We put our flag in the ground, and we cannot be happier to be talking sports here in the Inland Empire every single day of your life, 3 to 6 p.m. That's Jeff Gorham. That's Greg Holla. I'm Pep Fernandez. Jeff had a rough day at SeaWorld. Greg was sick over the weekend, but I feel great. I came in here. I am going to be like LeBron James. I'm going to carry this team into Tuesday. I'm going to put you guys on my back. I'm going to lead you to the next day because you're both about 50% right now. I am the LeBron James of the Inland Sports Show today.
The LeBron, no one else is going to put up to over 20 points.
No.
Apparently, nobody can
You
score.
guys are hardly even chipping in today. I'm dropping like 50. I'll probably go for a triple-double. I'm going to lead us to the next day, to Tuesday.
Oh, man. I'll tell you, it wasn't a bad weekend. It was okay. You know, I got to go to a nice birthday party on Saturday. Saw some friends, got to hang out, saw some little babies smiling, cake everywhere. Can't complain about that. But I'll tell you what, Pep.
You got a lot of problems.
I got a lot of problems, and it starts with SeaWorld. SeaWorld used to be a place, and I hope I don't I'm going to be politically incorrect here. I'm going to go back to the 70s. I'm going to hark on the days of going to SeaWorld and seeing Flipper doing flips and going up and touching beach balls and guys jumping on their backs and seeing Shamu doing flips over people.
So what happened?
Oh, they don't do that anymore,
No
Pep.
more.
There is no more flipping around. I don't see Flipper jumping around. I don't hear him going, ear. I don't hear none of those fun things.
It's boring.
Boring. It was so crowded to begin with. I'm going to tell you right now, so crowded. It was wall-to-wall people. Just picture Disneyland at its worst.
Ugh.
And this is how
That's
it
bad.
works. We go to sit and we see the dolphin show. The dolphin show. I expect to see these dolphins jumping over things, people,
Hoops.
fire.
Barriers.
I expect...
Fire.
Fire, yeah. You jump through... Remember they used to go through the big hoop of fire?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, no more fire, no more hoops, no more anything. I'll tell you what, they bored me. All they wanted to talk about was conserving. Let's conserve the porpoise. Let's conserve this. No offense, I want to see some bouncing around. I want to see them jumping over people. I want to see people riding on the backs of these dolphins. Nope.
You should have stayed home and watched the NBA playoffs.
I should have. And then it gets even worse. So I go over and I go, Shamu, don't let me down, Shamu. Shamu is the same thing. They just tell you stories about whales.
He's just swimming around in the tank?
Just swimming around.
No jumping?
No
big splash?
No.
Splash zone where people get wet?
Oh, they have it, but it's like he'll do it if he wants to kind of thing. Yeah, no one cares. And here's the one thing. There used to be aquariums there. You could walk around and go, hey, look, I want to see piranhas. Boom, I want to see 1,000 piranhas in one tank. Nope.
No piranhas.
I want to see stingrays. I want to see every kind of fish. I want to see seahorses. How many people want to see seahorses?
I want to see a seahorse.
I want to see giant crabs.
So it got worse. Like, it's not like the Pacific of the aquarium in Long Beach?
No, I love the Pacific, the aquarium of the Pacific. I got to see fish. There's rides at SeaWorld now.
Yeah, roller coasters.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
I love roller coasters.
They go to Magic Mountain, go
Manta.
to Disneyland.
Manta, Atlantis.
That Manta's a good roller coaster. I'll give you that. That's a good one.
You're coming around.
But there was too many of them. There was rides all over the place.
Maybe kids don't want to just see fish. They want.
I
go on
want
a
to see
ride.
fish. I have 2 little boys that I took.
Well, go on a
yesterday with
roller
me.
coaster and learn about fish while you're on the roller coaster.
I got my kids that are too little to go on roller coasters, and the oldest one didn't go. But man, I wanted to hang out with my little boy, my middle boy. Hang out with him. He's 5. I wanted to, be Dad and Johnny Day. Nope. Just a mess. Just a mess. I'm not going to SeaWorld again until I see fish.
You should have stayed home. You should have watched the NBA playoffs. It was a fantastic weekend. Oklahoma City is out. The Jazz are moving on.
Yeah, my team.
The Cleveland Cavaliers are moving on. Steph Curry's coming back. We got a lot to get to with the NBA playoffs a little bit later in the show. We are brought to you by our good friends at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. You'll be spoiled by great customer service and the lowest prices. So the next time that you need an oil change in your car every 3,000 or 5,000 miles, hop on over to Spoiled Quick Quality oil change. NBA playoffs, we got to get to that. But right now, still the big topic, Jeff. Everybody's been talking about this all weekend, the NFL draft. And I was trying to come up with a nutshell for the Rams, the Raiders, and the Chargers. The Rams and Raiders, really a quiet NFL draft. They did a lot of stuff with trades, including wide receivers. So the NFL draft really wasn't a big splash, if I could use a SeaWorld term for you.
No, there's no more splash.
No more splashing?
No, just ripples.
A big splash through the trades. But the draft, the Chargers got the steal of the draft, they're saying. Maybe one of the top defensive players, maybe the best defensive players in safety, Derwin James out of Florida State. So the Chargers now have one of the top secondaries in all of the NFL is what they're saying. But the Rams and the Raiders, not so much on the draft, but more so the trades they made during the draft is where they really bulked up.
Yeah, well, the Rams, they didn't have any picks in the first 2 rounds. I know they had a lot of picks in the later rounds as well. But
like 10 or 11, I think, in the end, yeah.
But I'll tell you, they got rid of one receiver, which didn't do much. I mean, it didn't move spark the meter too much in my eyes.
Tavon Austin.
He didn't
do much. Yeah, he didn't do much this last year.
He didn't do much last year. As a 3rd or 4th receiver, he's very replaceable.
Yeah, he's kick returner, but not a big deal. The other feel-good story of the NFL draft was Shaquem Griffin, the linebacker out of the University of Central Florida. He lost one of his hands when he was just 4 years old. He had a condition. Doctors had to amputate it. But he was a star linebacker, and not only did the Seattle Seahawks draft Shaquem Griffin in the 5th round, but Griffin is going to Seattle to play with his twin brother. His twin brother, Shaquille, was drafted by Seattle last year. So now they got, A, twin brothers on the team, and B, the feel-good story of the entire NFL draft, Shaquem Griffin, who has just one hand and plays linebacker.
He had the fastest 40 time recorded in history of the combine.
For his position.
Yes, for his position. And playing with his brother. His brother was a first-round draft choice. That's cool. I mean, it's a nice story, to say the least. It's like the Morris brothers that played in the NBA. They played together for a couple years with Phoenix. They got separated and they're playing in different spots.
Yeah, but weren't they ding-dongs?
They're definitely ding-dongs.
Yeah, these guys seem like good dudes.
These are great guys, and you gotta hope that Shaquem will hook on with the Seahawks, and it'd be nice to see those guys playing together.
I think you will. As a 5th-round pick, and again, I don't even want to say this is a PR stunt because this guy is a serious football player.
Oh, he's a great player.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's good publicity. He can actually play. He's a real player. I think he's going to find his spot on the team. Plus, you have the twin brothers. I mean, that's a great story. All the TV stations and radio stations, what do you think they're talking about in Seattle, like right now, like we're doing here in the IE? They're probably talking about the Griffin brothers and Shaquem Griffin going to Seattle, along with Rashad Penny, the running back out of San Diego State. Those are like the 2 big stories that they're probably talking about in Seattle right now. So, pretty cool story to see Shaquem Griffin going to Seattle, getting drafted out of the University of Central Florida. To baseball. Oh my gosh. So the Dodgers, they lost again 4-2 against San Francisco to the Giants. And to make matters worse, Dave Roberts had to yank Cody Bellinger out of the game yesterday. Did you see this?
And for good reason.
Here's okay, it is for good reason. Here's what really bothers me. I've played on a lot of bad teams growing up.
Didn't you play with the Chuck E. Cheese?
The Chuck E. Cheese Tigers, laughing stocks of Little League, okay? I played on a lot of bad teams growing up. All this baseball, basketball, and soccer. Bad teams. Rarely did I play on a good team. But we always battled. We always gave it 110%. In fact, covering a lot of local sports here in the Inland Empire, I see a lot of good teams that really bust their butt. They just don't have the wins to show for it. In fact, the first team that came to mind was your Norda Vista baseball team. When I saw them at the County Clash, I'm like, you know what? These guys are pretty good. They're going hard. They're pretty good. The record just doesn't reflect that.
They play hard.
But if you're a bad team and you don't play hard, that is a recipe for disaster. That's exactly what happened yesterday. Cody Bellinger not hustling out a double. Dave Roberts, the skipper of LA, thought it should have been a triple. He yanked him out of the game after that play, after they got out of that inning. And Cody Bellinger said, I don't know what he's talking about. I go hard all the time.
He said that, but then he also added to the same sentences, well, we were down 4-0, so why would I go out and hurt myself? I thought that was the biggest cop-out ever, especially for a guy who's prided himself on working hard last year. He was the guy that came out of nowhere, and then he's not hustling out plays. That's uncalled for. I don't care if you're down 4. I don't care if you're down 14. You're making millions of dollars. You're going to get hurt trying to run out to go to third?
Yeah.
Bad call. Great call by Coach. Bad call by Cody Bellinger.
It's one thing to be a bad team. It's another to be a bad team that's not even working hard, not even grinding every single day. There's plenty of quote-unquote bad teams, but you can see the effort's still there.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the Norte Vista baseball team. The effort was there. I'm like, you know what? These guys are going hard. They're not taking any pitches off. Then you got a guy like Cody Bellinger, and you're like, okay, if the Dodgers are already struggling, there's one thing you can control. Maybe you're not getting the hits. Maybe you're not getting the strikeouts like you'd like. But there's one thing you can control. That's your effort. The effort can always be there, even if you're bad. And now they don't even have that with one of their star players, one of the cornerstones of this team.
Well, yeah, and as a coach, when I coached high school basketball, I would always tell my guys there are a few things you can't coach. You can't coach heart and you can't coach hustle. That's on you. Everything else is on the coach. But if you don't work hard, you don't go after that loose ball, you don't go after the rebound, that is something inside of you. And if you don't have that, you shouldn't play sports. And right now, Cody Bellinger, you can't just not hustle. That's like if you're the Cleveland Browns and you're the wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. And you're 1-31 the last 2 years. Do you honestly think if you want to be a good football player or a good athlete, you take plays off? You can't take plays off.
No.
There's just because there's always somebody else that will take your place. And Cody Bellinger, you haven't been playing very long. There's always somebody that can take your place. Always. You can be a flash in the pan. We've had many of them. It would be nice if you're not one of those guys. Hustle and run your butt around the bases. Simple as that.
Listen, he was awesome last year. Don't get me wrong. He was fantastic. One of the best rookie seasons we have ever seen. Was it 39 home runs,
Yes.
a new Dodger record for rookies, all those things. But Dodger fans were having a little bit of sour grapes yesterday because I saw Adrian Gonzalez had a huge game for the Mets.
Yes.
Just happened to coincide
Yes.
with Bellinger stinking it up. Well, I shouldn't say stinking it up. The effort wasn't there. It just happened to coincide with El Titan, the Titan. Adrian Gonzalez having a monster game for the Mets. And there's some sour Dodger fans on social media saying, hey, where's Agon when you need him? You know what I mean? Maybe Agon wasn't healthy, but you knew he was going to give it all he had every single day.
Yeah, and there's guys over the past. I mean, Ricky Henderson's one of those guys you laugh at and said, hey, he used to, go third
Mr.
person.
Ego, yeah. Ricky
But
do this, Ricky do that.
Did you ever see Ricky Henderson jog anywhere?
No, he just throw his body down the base path, laying out on the warning track, all those things.
Did you ever see Ozzie not run out to shortstop?
No.
Did you ever see, I never saw, and I watched Reggie Jackson play as an Angel and as a Yankee. He would always sprint out to his right field every single time. Guys that stay in this game that will last are guys that play hard. Simple as that.
I'm just curious, the way the Dodger season has started, it's not that different the way they started last year. We've talked about this before. The record's pretty much the same the way they started last year, and they ended up going to the World Series. But this year just feels different based on reaching the World Series last year. The expectations were different. It was basically the same team coming back. I'm curious to see if Dave Roberts took this moment of Cody Bellinger not hustling out a double, turning it into a triple, trying to leg it out. At least go for 3, right? At least go for it. If you're out, at least you win for it. Playing aggressive baseball.
Yeah, you're down. You're only down 4. It's not like you're down 100.
Yeah.
You can make a play that can get your team back in the ball game.
But maybe he's making him a poster boy. Maybe Dave Roberts sees this around the clubhouse with other guys too, and he's like, you know what? Cody Bellinger's one of our stars. Let's make this in the forefront. We'll use him. Unfortunately, he's the scapegoat, right? He's going to have to wear this one, being the guy who doesn't hustle. And then I didn't know he said, what did he say? I'm not going to get hurt over this.
No, he said, he goes, well, we're down 4 runs. I'm not going to try to make it a triple out of a double. And that's where I have a problem. When you stand up and I saw the play, he could have got a triple. He jogged. You can't jog. I understand. He's the only guy besides Chris Taylor that has played every single game this season for the Dodgers. He's leading the team in batting average at 291. Leads them in hits. But if you are that guy, you want to be a leader, you have to lead by example. And that's not leading by example. That is just kind of giving up early.
Yeah, I know he's a young guy, and they do have veteran presidents in that clubhouse. But if he's going to be the leader going forward, because that young nucleus of the Dodgers, Bellinger, Seager, Barnes. I mean, they've got some good young players that are going to be around for a long, long time. If you want to be that guy, it's got to start now. You got to lead by example. I want to see it out there. And I don't know. We'll see what happens going forward now, because Dave Roberts said one thing, like he didn't hustle, and Cody Bellinger said, "No, I did. I work hard every day." I'm not sure what he's talking about.
Well, it did.
Awkward.
It did seem awkward, but later on in the evening, they did say they were going to put this behind them and they were going to go forward. So if they can do that, it helps the Dodgers. If they can't, Bellinger or the boss are going to have some issues.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall on that one.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you go back to the locker room after the game last night in San Francisco. I mean, how does that work out? Are you Bellinger sitting in your locker and you're kind of looking down, see if old Dave Robertson must have like some sort of an office, even as a visitor,
yes,
some sort of an office, looking down there being like, oh man, he's going to call me in any minute. We're going to hash this thing out.
And to some extent, you can't hold it completely against Bellinger. I remember when I was 19, 20, 21 years old, I made stupid decisions and said stupid things that I regret. But at hindsight, I didn't think was a wrong answer at the time. There were times when I played, I'm sure I was a dingling. But now as an older person, I can see that maybe I was wrong in my ways. Maybe he's just a young guy making some poor decisions.
It just sounds a little selfish. I think that's what rubs me the wrong way. It's like, okay, he was looking out for himself and not what was best for the team. He's like, I'm not going to get myself hurt. I'm trying to, lock up more money here.
Yes.
I'm not going to.
I'm a second-year player. I can't, I'm not going to hurt myself. Yeah, I agree 100%. If you want to win world championships, you've got to lay it out on the line every single day. Guys have done it for years. Yeah. You're no better than them.
I bet you Mike Trout has never taken off a play. He's never been running full speed across the warning track and thought, you know what? I'm going to slam into this wall. I'm probably not going to do it. I'm going to pull up right here.
Yeah, you're not going to see that from the good players.
No, he throws his body.
Yes.
A couple other quick baseball notes as we go through our Inland Sports headlines here on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Trevor Oakes, the pride of Woodcrest Christian, the pride of Cal Baptist University, made his major league debut on Saturday afternoon against the White Sox. He went 5 innings, but he gave up 5 runs on 12 hits. He did have 4 strikeouts. So all of these major league firsts, his first major league start, his first major league strikeout, all those things, but they did lose 8-0. So the offense didn't help him out either for the Royals. But the Royals lost 8-zip. Trevor is back down in AAA, which he knew that. He was coming up to make a start.
Doubleheader that day.
They were going to send him back down to AAA. I believe it's Omaha, I want to say. But he's going to join us live on Wednesday. He's going to call in the show live on Wednesday and talk about his first major league start, being the first CBU player to make it to the big leagues, which is a historic moment in itself, as we had the skipper, Gary Adcock, on the show live on Friday. And Tyler Chatwood, he's settling in that Cubs uniform. Back-to-back wins now. He went 7 innings yesterday. No runs, just 2 hits. Tyler Chatwood with a 2-zip win for the Cubs against the Brewers. So look out, baseball. Tyler Chatwood is back. In fact, he had 2 Tommy John surgeries. Now he's back. And we've got another local guy from the Inland Empire in the major leagues who just had Tommy John surgery as well. We're going to have that a little bit later in the show. We're brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods, more than 40 years in the Inland Empire, taking care of all of your sporting gear needs, plus Letterman's jackets, all the sports supplies you could ever ask for. So if you need a baseball bat, a helmet, cleats, wristbands, batting gloves, you name it, they got it. It's Ken's Sporting Goods out there in Norco, Horsetown, USA. If you'd like to be a sponsor here on the Inland Sports Show, super easy. Just shoot us an email at inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we're going back to the NFL draft. We'll talk more about the Rams and the Raiders and the Chargers and the great Kylie Fitz.
Kylie Fitz.
He heard his name called in the NFL draft. We'll have that as well. We'll be right back. You're listening to your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
How you guys doing? Ray Bass here. We're here at Corona High with the Corona High football program with the one and only Pep Fernandez. Today's boost training tip, it's all about top end speed. We're talking about the ankling drill. Come check it out. This particular drill is great at teaching us to get our feet off the ground as quickly as possible. All right, so what we're gonna do is Gavin's gonna start with his feet underneath his hips. His toes are gonna be pointing forward. And the goal here is to get as many hits against the ground as possible. He's gonna do a fast high knee. He's gonna have his toes pointed up, get as many hits as he can in a short amount of time. Here we go. So we're gonna go about 5 yards here. Here we go, ready, set, go. Fast down, toes up, toes up, toes up, toes up, toes up. Now typically you wanna get over the opposite knee. I like to say fast down just so we don't get robotic with it, but there you have it right there, the ankling drill. Great for top end speed.
to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. We are brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. From lacrosse, golf, track and field, football, baseball, basketball, what am I missing? Well, they do it all. Go check out Boost. Athletes of all levels, youth, high school, college, they do it all. Help you get that scholarship, maybe make the varsity team. Maybe you want a starting job at the varsity level. That's a big deal. They can do it. Get you faster, stronger, bigger. They got the strength and speed class, and the first one's always free. Go to boosttrainingsystems.com. That is the website for more information. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on Twitter. So we're talking about the NFL draft here, and the Rams had 11 picks in all, beginning in the third round. So for Jared Goff, it was worth it. In hindsight, we can look back now, Jeff, and say, you know what? Totally good. They sold the whole farm to get up to number one to pick Jared Goff. And I think based on last season, it was a good move, right? I mean, it's okay they didn't have any top picks this year. It's okay. You got Goff.
Yeah, McVay really brought in a different mentality to the Rams than Fisher did. You know, that offense went from futile to fruitful. I mean, it was the best scoring offense in the game. They've added themselves probably, I think, on paper, the best defense, you know, in the league by far. But the thing that the Rams did, I thought they did well in this draft, was they brought in some guys that down the line might be good offensive O-line guys. Because right now,
no rush, really, at this point.
There really aren't any rush, but in the next couple of years, they're going to have guys that are going to, their contracts are going to come up. So these guys will fill those holes down the line. Very good draft. I would say an A for the guys, for the Rams, because the Rams did draft so late.
Yeah, you know what I mean? They weren't looking at the draft to say, you know what? We need to have the best draft ever to be competitive. No, they were already good. Their offseason moves pointed to that. Like, hey, we're going to use the offseason, free agency. We're going to make some trades to make this team Super Bowl ready. We're not going to lean on the draft to be like, hey, you know, we're building for the future, or we need a guy right now. No, the draft was like, okay, you know what? We're good, but we're going to stockpile some guys, like you said, Jeff, that might be good down the road when they actually need them. So they had 11 picks in all, beginning in the third round. The big move, though, during the draft was they traded Tavon Austin to the Dallas Cowboys, a receiver, a kick returner to Dallas, got rid of him. He was okay. He wasn't great. I don't think he lived up to the billing as being a first-rounder. He was okay. I think they're going to use him a lot more in Dallas. They said maybe even running the football, running kicks, slot receiver, kick return, all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, they didn't lose much, but like you said, they lose. This is a contract year for their three offensive linemen. They're studs. Haverstein, Jamon Brown, and Roger Saffold. They're finishing up their contracts. They brought in these guys to fill in those spots possibly next year.
Yeah, the Rams went from the worst scoring team in the NFL under Jeff Fisher, they bring in Sean McVay,
to the best.
To the best. That's never happened before in NFL history. They went from worst to first in points per game. They were almost just about 30 points per game, just edging out the Philadelphia Eagles. So they were already pretty good on offense. They got the best player in the league on defense in Aaron Donald. They didn't necessarily need the draft to revamp this team. They used the offseason. They were already really good. They're in good hands. And now they got some good young players that can put on the shelf for a little bit, let them develop. And who knows, maybe the rich get even richer. And these guys turn out to be, some of these draft picks turn out to be pretty good for the Rams.
Yeah, and defensively, they didn't need to tinker too much. Alec Ogletree was traded to the Giants, but they brought in Brandon Cooks and Marcus Peters. Those guys are studs. Those guys will definitely take the place. Akeem Talib.
On defense, yep.
And Ndamukong Suh. That is a very, very good defense. Possibly the best on paper in the NFL.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Brandon Cooks at receiver, another great weapon for Jared Goff to throw to. So they're in good hands. They're fine. The Raiders did something similar as well. They use their draft picks to, I think, draft on potential. Guys that they could see, no rush. Hey, we need you to plug in right now and be that starting guy. No. There's no rush. But they got some guys. They love the potential of these guys, beginning with Colton Miller, the offensive lineman out of UCLA. Because they're kind of built to win right now, too. And the Raiders even made a couple trades during the draft. They got Martavis Bryant, the big-time receiver out of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and also Ryan Switzer from the Dallas Cowboys. So Derek Carr now has Martavis Bryant, Ryan Switzer. Remember Jordy Nelson? Remember they got him from the Green Bay Packers?
Yes.
He signed as a free agent. And, of course, Amari Cooper. So now Derek Carr, all of a sudden, the pride of the Raiders is back. They're going to score some points. If you're a Rams fan, you're scoring 30 points per game. Derek Carr's going to say, you know what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go 31. Derek Carr and the Raiders could have a potent offense this season, and he's got plenty of weapons all the way around with the silver and black.
And not only does he have plenty of weapons, he's got weapons to protect him and protect his body. Remember, he had a broken back last year. So Gruden goes out and gets in his first and third round picks, he gets offensive tackles to kind of prepare to save that guy.
You got to save Derek Carr. He's your franchise quarterback. Remember when he broke his leg too? Remember that?
Broke his leg,
and there was
broke his back.
audio of that.
Yes.
It's broke. It's broke.
Yes.
It's broke.
So yeah, it's a new team, a new era. Gruden. The big question is he been away from football too long?
No way.
You guys are big Raiders fanatics.
No, I'm not. No, you know what? Someone else hit me up and said they did have concerns about John Gruden. Like, he's been out of the game a while.
And that's
as an
the
analyst,
question.
you look at the games differently. Things have changed. No, Greg? No. John Gruden's back. Raiders are back.
Hashtag bring Oakland a ring before we leave.
And talking about Colton Miller, the big man out of UCLA who's picked the number 15 spot, he's really going to be, they said, a red shirt almost, a red shirt going into your NFL season. They're going to really work with him. They're looking for him to be a player down the line. Size, strength, speed is there. He just needs to work on technique.
Speaking of Derek Carr in the NFL draft, there's a picture floating around Instagram. And I think it was David Carr. Remember Derek Carr's older brother?
The guy got beat senseless when he played.
Oh, my gosh. He ran for his life with the Houston Texans as an expansion team. But there was a picture floating around social media of David Carr, the number 1 overall pick in 2000 and I want to say 3? 2?
Yeah, it sounds
I think it was
right.
2. Maybe 2002. But it's funny because David Carr went up to the podium with the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. His other brother, Darren, was on the stage holding David's son, his first son. And then young Derek was on the stage. He was just a little guy, but they recreated that photo from the NFL draft, like in their living room, and it was going around social media. Did you see it?
No, but
it's actually pretty funny.
I
Like Derek's on his knees, because remember, he was a little guy when David went number 1. He was just real little. So it's pretty funny. But the Carr family having a good laugh during the NFL draft. I'm sure they were watching it closely to see what kind of guys Derek Carr was going to be able to work with come this upcoming season.
Somebody to protect him, that's for sure.
Yes, for sure. And the Chargers had a real great draft. It all started with Derwin James, the defensive back out of Florida State. Some people say he could have been maybe the best defensive player in all the draft. I know Denzel Ward, the Browns took him at number 4, the DB out of Ohio State. Chubb, the D-end out of NC State. People loved him, but they're saying Derwin James could be the steal of the draft with the Chargers at 17. So big pickup there by the L.A. Chargers. And the local guy for us, in fact, there was only one local guy drafted. Unbelievable. We usually have like 5 or 6.
And usually they're from Centennial or Rev.
We usually have like 5 or 6 from out of the Inland Empire. This year, just one guy drafted. It was Kylie Fitz out of Redlands East Valley, the Rev star, going in the 6th round to the Chicago Bears. Shortly after Kylie Fitz was drafted by the Bears, he talked to the Chicago Bears reporter. You know, all the NFL teams have their own reporters now for their team website and their team YouTube channel. So here's a little bit of Kylie Fitz talking to the Bears right after he was drafted.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm excited to be a Bear. A huge blessing. Ready to come to Chicago and help the team win.
What was said on the phone call that you just got?
Just the head coach called saying, hey, are you ready to be a Bear? And I was like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. And talk to the rest of the coaches, and they're all fired up to have me. And I'm just blessed and excited to come to Chicago.
Did you think that you'd be getting a Chicago number calling you today?
Honestly, no. I mean, we haven't had too much contact. I know we talked a lot at the Combine and Senior Bowl after that. Didn't have too much contact, though. When I saw Lake Forest, I was new as the Bears, and just hearing the coaches kind of.
That was the great Kylie Fitz out of Redlands East Valley. He is scheduled to join us live on the Inland Sports Show tomorrow about joining the Chicago Bears.
The Bears.
Pretty awesome for him. He's put in a lot of work. It's been a long, windy road. Redlands East Valley, his senior year, he had a broken hand, I believe it was. And then he committed to USC, and then he signed with UCLA, and he transferred to Utah, and he's had some injuries, but now he's finally made it to the NFL. But again, it's been a long, windy road, but he finally made it. We'll talk to Kylie Fitz tomorrow right here on the Inland Sports Show. Coming up here on today's show, some weird and wacky things coming out of the NFL draft for the Giants and for the Eagles. You couldn't even make this stuff up if you tried. We'll be back. It's your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
How you guys doing? Ray Baz here again at Corona High with the Corona High football program with the one and only Pep Fernandez. Today's boost training tip, it's all about top end speed, getting our knees up. We're talking about the A-Run. Come see what it's all about. Okay, so we're working on right now, you can call it top end speed, absolute speed, max speed. Really all that means is that we're opening up our stride, getting our knees up. And one of the things we like to emphasize here is that cyclical action with the legs. So with the A-Run, all we're doing is pulling our heel to our butt, stepping over and around the opposite knee, and it's all about turnover. We want to get as many reps as we can. So Jake's going to go ahead, he's going to jog to the hash, and then he's going to hit a nice and quick A-Run all the way to the opposite hash. Here we go, ready? And go. Jog, 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 hit. Heel to the butt, toes up, over and around, over and around, over and around, over and around. Nice, very nice, very nice. So you want to get as many reps as you can here. You always want to have your ankle locked, toes pointing to the top of your shoe. A great drill to emphasize is getting your knees up, getting that cyclical action, the A-Run. If you're not doing it, you better be doing it. And we do it right here at Boost.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What, are you trying to be an Irish R&B singer?
Oh, they let you pick any name you want when you get down there.
And you landed on McLovin.
Yeah, I was between that and Muhammad.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
We are back on the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're still talking about the NFL draft. You know what I love, Jeff? You come out of the draft, I want to see the guys in their new uniforms. Like, I want to see Baker Mayfield in the Cleveland Browns uniform. All these guys run around the rookie mini camps in their new uniforms, because everything we see now, those fancy photo edits, they put on Instagram, and they're all these graphics, like they're not real, they're edits, and they put them in the new uniforms. I want to see them on the field in the new unis.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because we see our boy Jaden Daniels all over the place.
Those might be real. When he does those visits at the colleges, they probably put him in a uniform.
They put him in a uni and take a picture and do all this stuff?
Like Kylie Fitz, I just saw a picture of him on Instagram in a full Chicago Bears uniform wearing number 11, which is what he wore at the University of Utah. He's not there in a Bears uniform yet. Someone made a photo edit, but I want to see him, though, in a Chicago Bears uniform on the field.
Yeah, I think that always is the coolest part of the draft. I agree. I am now coming along on the Baker Mayfield train.
You are?
I am going to join the train of Baker Mayfield.
Because people are saying the Browns screwed up big time.
I thought about this. Maybe I'm wrong, and I think maybe too deep, but maybe as a coach, I look at this. What is their biggest hang-up the last couple of years? Just they can't win.
They suck?
They suck. They can't win. They can't win. Maybe they're in a general malaise. A general malaise is what I like to say. But what does Baker Mayfield bring to the table?
Cockiness.
But he can win. The guy can win.
So did Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, but Johnny Manziel is a complete ding-dong. I think I'm coming a little bit more along the lines of I like Baker Mayfield. I think maybe he can get them out of this general malaise that the Cleveland Browns have. So maybe I'll buy a Baker Mayfield jersey.
Now, yesterday I was so excited. Big Sunday around the Fernandez house because we went and saw Infinity War.
Great movie.
Oh, I was so excited to go see it. It was an awesome Sunday. But there was a story on Sports Illustrated on the web I wanted to read, but I wanted to see Avengers Infinity War more. But I want to get back to it because it's a story on how the Browns were able to keep their number one pick a secret. Because really, every single day leading up to the draft, it seemed like it was a no-brainer, a slam dunk, that Sam Darnold was the guy out of USC, our big-time quarterback from here in Southern California. He was the guy. And then all of a sudden, the browniest move of all time, Baker Mayfield goes one, and people are like, what?
Yeah, it was a strange pick, and I don't want to say that I'm an expert. I like to play one on the radio here, but I just thought more and more about this pick, and maybe Darnold would have been better for the future, but for the perfect time for right now, maybe a quick shot in the arm, Baker Mayfield could be that guy.
Could be. We're going to find out. And I hope he plays right away. I know they have, Tyrod Taylor, former Bills quarterback?
Yes.
They're kind of the same guy, right? Like the way they play, mobile. I mean, kind of the same guy.
Why would you not play Mayfield? You're 1 the last 2 years.
What have you got to lose,
you
right?
have nothing to lose. You got to throw them into the fire.
Sounds like Super Bowl or bust this year.
No, but you got, some baby steps. And anything they step is going to help them. Anything they do.
We're going to talk more NFL draft here on the Inland Sports Show. It's brought to you by our friends at Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Ask for the special each and every week. We just had the big 2017 GMC Yukon. It was a sweet, sweet deal. You can save thousands of dollars when you go to Catalano Motors. You can call, ask for Derek Catalano directly at Catalano Motors. He'll help you buy, trade, and finance. Now, again, ask what their special is. They got some sweet rides out there at Catalano Motors off Temescal Canyon Road in Corona. So, Johnny Manziel in 2014, he was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. And that night of the draft, his jersey was the #1 selling jersey on draft night of all time. More Johnny Manziel jerseys were sold at NFL.com than any other jersey until Saquon Barkley of the Giants beat him on draft night. So there's Saquon Barkley, New York Giant jerseys all over the place now. He is the #1 seller on draft night, although I did see one caveat, he was drafted early. So he had like an extra hour and a half to sell jerseys on the website that night compared to Johnny Manziel, who was, I don't have it in front of me, but he was later in the first round. So Saquon Barkley had a jump start on old Johnny Manziel.
Hey, and Johnny Manziel jerseys, you can still get them. Guess where you can get them, though? On the clearance.
Ross.
At Ross,
At the clearance,
exactly.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. So you can go buy one for like $3.99. Go down and check it out. Hopefully they won't have a Saquon Barkley jersey at Ross here.
No, they won't. No. He's the hot item right now. In fact, Saquon Barkley's so big that even his own dad is jumping on that Giants bandwagon.
I hope so.
So Saquon Barkley's family, and especially his dad, huge Jets fans.
What?
New York Jets fans. So the other team in New York,
Yeah,
not the
that's not
Giants.
the Giants.
No, the other team. So lo and behold, who drafts Saquon Barkley? The Giants. So what do you do if you're a huge Jets fan? Well, you get a tattoo of the Jets, right?
What? No.
So,
that'd be like me getting tattoos of the Warriors,
the Jazz,
the
Lakers, the Angels,
the Rams,
the Padres.
No, not Padres.
Chargers.
Never. Chargers, yes.
That's a lot of teams.
I'll never have a Raider one.
The Fury.
Though.
Ontario Fury.
Yeah, my entire.
You got a lot of teams, Jeff.
I do have a lot of teams.
Norda Vista High School.
No, I don't put that. No. But I do have a new team. The Jazz are my new favorite team. My Jazz.
Can they upset Houston?
No, but they're my dark horse. No. I do love watching them play, though. There are a few teams that I like to watch. And now that you know,
love the Jazz, even with Ricky Rubio injured.
I love the man bun and the Ricky.
But he's hurt.
He is hurt.
So Saquon Barkley's dad had a Jets tattoo. Got drafted by the Giants. He's going to get a big paycheck very, very soon. So they said, what are you going to do with your first check? I said, well, I'm going to buy my mom a house. That's great. That's right answer. Also, he says he's going to lend his dad some money, and he's serious about this. His dad's going to have that Jets tattoo removed from his body because now his son, Saquon Barkley, is the star running back for the Giants. Think about it. My daughters are not going to go pro. You have some sons. Who knows? Someday, maybe.
They won't be pro. Get out of here.
But whatever team you grow up with. In fact, we'll ask Kylie Fitz tomorrow. Kylie Fitz and his family, they were Charger fans growing up. Guess what today? Their favorite team is today.
Not the Chargers.
Chicago Bears.
Oh, my gosh.
So
I couldn't do that. I would say, I'm not getting that thing removed.
I'm not taking off my Utah Jazz tattoo.
Never. I don't care if my son's who he plays for. I'm not going to change my tattoo. That's nuts.
So if your son makes it to the NBA and he gets drafted by the Charlotte Hornets, you're not going to say, "Hey, get that Warriors tattoo off. I need a Charlotte Hornets. I need that little wasp guy."
No,
right on my bicep.
I want right on my tramp stamp. I want it in the small of my back.
Perfect.
No way. There's no way I get a tattoo of any team.
Well, that's happening.
Oh, that's
also,
crazy.
here's another funny story from the NFL draft as you're listening to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. So the Philadelphia Eagles, they drafted a big tight end, Dallas Goedert, I believe you pronounce it, out of South Dakota State. Big tight end.
Goedert.
Well, the Philadelphia Eagles drafted a guy named Dallas. Philadelphia and Dallas, they hate each other. They're division rivals. They've got a long history. They don't like each other. So there's some Eagles fans out there who took it upon themselves to start a GoFundMe page because they want Dallas Goedert to change his name to Philly.
Stop it.
Because his name's Dallas.
Just stop it.
And his name's Dallas for a good reason, because his parents were huge Dallas Cowboy fans.
Does they want them to change his name to Philly?
Philly
Goedert?
Yeah, because he doesn't want to be Dallas.
Yeah, that would never happen either.
It's not going to happen. It's so ironic that these parents, they love these NFL teams so much. Like Saquon Barkley's dad loved the Jets, and Dallas's family loved the Dallas Cowboys.
I'm sure,
but now they have to root for the arch rival. They got to root for the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, that's goofy. But I almost named my son Brunswick.
Brunswick?
Yeah, I think
the bowling alley.
Yeah, I think he might have been made in a bowling alley. One of yes, we were going to name him Brunswick Gorham because we played in the bowling league. I'm sure we probably hung out. Afterwards we went home and made a little baby Brunswick. So we were going to name our son Brunswick Gorham.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Greg, if you're a Raiders fan, who's the arch nemesis of the Raiders? The Chiefs? The Broncos?
Denver! The guy threw pee on my buddy, for gosh sake.
The Denver?
It could be the Chargers.
Okay, we'll say the Chargers. So you're a Raiders fan. I know you've got Raider tattoos all over your body. So let's say you have a son one day. He makes it to the Chargers. Would you have all those tattoos removed?
No.
You'd leave the Colton High one.
Yeah. You know, I would wear his jersey. I would wear my son's jersey, but that'd be
With
it.
the Chiefs?
No.
But leave all the Raider stuff on.
I'll always represent Raiders.
Oh,
it might be, if he's on the Chiefs, it might be a silver and black Chiefs jersey.
Oh. But you know
How about
what?
that?
Hey, he could get drafted, let's say, by the Chargers or the Chiefs, but after his rookie contract, maybe he signs with the Raiders. So so maybe Saquon Barkley's dad is a little premature. Maybe
I would be like a LeVar Ball. I'd be like that. My son's going to the Raiders in 2 seasons.
Speak it into existence.
Yes. Make it happen.
I'd do that. If not, I'm taking him to Lithuania.
Yes,
have my own football franchise, Lithuanian Raiders.
We got a break. We've got more NFL draft talk when we come back. It's the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car, whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It's
Gets
gross.
the people going.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We've got breaking news right now. But first, we're brought to you by Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change. You'll be spoiled by great customer service and low prices. Go get your oil change right now at Spoiled Quick Quality Oil Change off of Alessandro Boulevard. Okay, so before we get to the breaking news, I'm looking at the Dodgers lineup for the game tonight, and it totally makes sense now that we have this breaking news. Corey Seager, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Corey Seager is having Tommy John surgery. He is done for the rest of the season. So, Jeff, we were talking about this tailspin that the Dodgers have been on this season. Clayton Kershaw already has 4 losses on the year. He had 4 all of last year, like the whole season. Team's not hitting well. Cody Bellinger isn't hustling. And now Corey Seager having TJ. He's going to be done for the rest of the year.
Oh, big blow for a Dodger team. You know, they've won the last 5 National League West titles. Made it all the way to Game 7 of the World Series last year before falling to the Houston Astros. And now look at them. They have fallen pretty far in just a short amount of time.
Well, the Dodgers are taking on Arizona tonight. The Dodgers will not see Diamondbacks pitcher Taijuan Walker, the pride of Yucaipa High School. He also, in fact, it's already done. He had Tommy John surgery as well. Later in the show, we're going to hear a soundbite from Taijuan Walker about that. But here's the Dodgers lineup as they go into Arizona. They just released it right now. This is a real who's who. And it's a makeshift lineup. Guys are all over the place. Chris Taylor, who's been playing center field, is at short. Chase Utley's at second, batting third. Their best player so far this year, Yasmani Grandal catching. Cody Bellinger is the cleanup hitter at first base. So whatever he and Dave Roberts had to say behind closed doors, obviously, at least for now, it's smoothed over, that lack of hustling. Bellinger's back in the lineup. Batting fifth in left field, young Jock Peterson. In right field, the young fella, Alex Verdugo. Hitting seventh in center field, Kike Hernandez, who is a jack of all trades. They're playing him in the outfield now. I don't think that's going to last long. They'll probably pull him back to the infield at some point now with the Seager Tommy John surgery. And at third base, a guy that they just called up, old Max Muncy.
Max
at third
Muncy?
base.
Wow. That's a who's who.
We were just talking off the air. What will the Dodgers lineup look like considering Justin Turner's still out, Logan Forsythe is out, and now Corey Seager's having Tommy John. He is done for all of this year. What will that infield look like? My prediction is they would move. I think they're going to move Kike Hernandez to short.
Good call. Makes sense.
And I think they're going to play Kyle Farmer at third, or this Max Muncy guy. And then they're going to play Austin Barnes at second base and let Chase Utley spot a couple of those guys here and there, because they're running thin. They're calling guys up right now, but they're running thin at the infield until JT and Forsythe can make their way back.
And heck, they're playing a really good Arizona Diamondbacks team.
First place.
They're 19-8. They've tied for the franchise record for best start. They just beat Philadelphia in a series and Washington on a road trip. And they were supposed to have Rich Hill was supposed to come back tonight for the Dodgers. Guess what happened to him?
Hurt
again. He was supposed to make the start tonight because of that infection he had. But now they had to put that on hold, and they're going against that ex-Dodgers Zach Greinke, who
old Grankenstein.
Oh man! So yeah, Dodgers having their ills right now.
Man.
Hopefully they can get him out early here until they get JT back.
Well, the Dodgers have a couple guys that can play a variety of different positions. I mean, they've got Chris Taylor, and they also have Kike Hernandez, and throw in Austin Barnes, who's the catcher and second baseman. So they have a little bit of flexibility in terms of the lineup, the guys that they want to run out every night, so they can move guys around. But I think going forward, again, until JT and Forsythe come back, I think we're going to see a lot more Austin Barnes at second, and I think we're going to see Kike Hernandez more at short in place of Corey Seager. And actually, Kike's had some good games, so maybe that's not such a bad thing. It's not like Seager was off to a great start this year, and maybe this might be why. Maybe he was dealing with this nagging injury, and that they're finally going to do something about it now and shut him down.
Well, I think they're putting Kike out in. He's playing right field.
He's in center field tonight.
But
what's interesting, they have Kike in center and Chris Taylor at short. But Chris Taylor's been playing center field,
yes,
and Kike's been playing along the infield. So they almost like flip-flopped him.
Yeah, and then
I don't know.
Puig got put on the DL as well today, so he's
Holy
out for a while. Yeah, he has a bruised foot running into the wall, so he has been placed on the disabled list.
Yeah, so the outfield tonight, Kike, Alex Verdugo, and Jock Peterson. That's your outfield for the Dodgers. And again, I think Kike and Chris Taylor, very interchangeable, so we might see them at short and center field, third base. I mean, the Dodgers, Dave Roberts really going to have to work his magic now in these coming weeks until help is on the way. Again, Corey Seager's not going to be back anytime soon. He's done for the year. Tommy John.
Yeah, but the Dodgers, though, granted they're having all of these problems. They did score 24 runs, though, in that series with the hated ones, the Giants. But that bullpen gave up 12 runs in 10 innings.
Yeah, that bullpen's not very good.
No, and that's been the problem. That's the problem for the guys down the street with the Anaheim. The Angels are just not – they're not getting what we wanted pitching-wise. And they're they've kind of come back into reality as well.
Yeah, the Angels starting pitchers, I think, have been a pleasant surprise.
They've been phenomenal.
Yes.
But they've got to that middle relief, what they've had problems with in the past. They need to do something because they're staying in games, and then they go to that middle relief, and it just completely flips because they're scoring runs.
Yeah.
They're just not getting enough from their bullpen.
In fact, they still might be the highest scoring team in baseball. I don't know what it looks like today as of right now, but they were the highest scoring team in baseball.
Yeah, they can hit. They've got guys. Pujols on the verge here of collecting that record-breaking hits. 3,000 hits is coming up.
Well, 2,000 RBI and 3,000 hits.
He's 4 shy of 3,000 hits. So.
He's approaching it, yeah. And already over 600 home runs in his career. So if you look at those as plateaus, 2,000 RBI, 3,000 hits, 600 home runs, those are milestone markers. So if you pass one of those markers, if you reach that plateau, there's not a lot of company up there. That's like going to the top of Mount Everest. There's not a lot of people hanging out up there. That's where Albert Pujols is going right now.
Yeah, and you can talk about Pujols he's a great player. Playing a lot more on the field this year than he's
in great shape.
Great shape, best
good.
shape we've seen. But the Angels, though, coming back to reality a little bit here. That tough series against the Yankees.
We're going to talk more baseball later in the show, but right now we've got to go back to football because that's what everyone's still talking about on this Monday, trying to make sense of their favorite team's NFL draft. And, everyone's optimistic. I'm sure there's even Browns fans out there. They're like, you know what? I like our team. I feel pretty good about it. Everyone is optimistic about the NFL draft, but coming off the NFL draft, there's a slew of guys that signed those undrafted free agent contracts. So I know the draft gets so much attention. It's a made-for-TV event. We pay so much attention to it because a lot of those top picks are going to be the next stars in the NFL. So good reason for that. We watch the NFL draft. But once in a while, you see an undrafted free agent that'll make a team and turn some heads. And we had several Inland Empire guys sign those undrafted free agents right after the draft. I mean, the draft ends, and these picks who are really on the cusp, on the bubble of being selected in the NFL draft, they've got NFL teams blowing up their phone. And sometimes it's a good thing because now you've got your pick. Let's say Greg down here is a big-time NFL prospect, doesn't get drafted, and now he's going to be an undrafted free agent. Instead of saying, okay, Greg, you got drafted by, let's say, the Bills. You have to go to Buffalo. Now, as an undrafted free agent, he might have Buffalo, the Chargers, the Broncos, and the Cardinals all calling him and say, hey, we want you. Now you get to pick. The ball is in your court. Cardinals?
Yeah. So
the Raiders.
So do they sign these my question is, do they sign these contracts? Are they committed to them until the beginning of the training camp?
Yeah, because here's the deal. A lot of these guys, in all reality, probably will not make the team coming out of camp, like the real team as we go into week 1 of the NFL season in September. But these guys are locked in. They'll go to training camp and see what happens. I mean, there's a chance that some of these guys might make a team.
Well, we saw Kenyon Barner last year. Kenyon Barner was playing with the Chargers. I know, granted, he was, has been playing in the league. But remember, he got cut by the Chargers.
Yeah.
He was out there. He got picked up.
Strangely enough, and this kind of went under the radar during the NFL draft. So when we had Kenyon Barner here on the Inland Sports Show, he said a big reason why he ended up with the Super Bowl champion Eagles was because of Darren Sproles.
Exactly.
A guy that he really looks up to, a guy that they kind of do the same thing. Third down running back. They return kicks really fast. Not very big in stature, but really fast and shifty. Kind of the same guy. Well, I saw during the NFL draft, the Eagles re-upped with Darren Sproles. So what will that mean for our guy, Kenyon Barner? Because if they're bringing Sproles back, because Sproles was hurt last year, that's why they brought in Kenyon Barner. If Sproles is back and healthy, what does that mean for Kenyon Barner? Will we maybe see him in a new uniform? He's already got his Super Bowl ring, so I know he's doing okay. He's fine. But, with Sproles back, will there be room for both those guys on the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, that's a big question. But the thing is, he did do well this past year.
He really did.
He did. Getting cut by the Chargers might have been a good thing for him. The Darren Sproles thing could be a wrinkle there.
Just because they do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's only so many roster spots, and if you do the same exact thing, and they've already said, hey, we're re-signing Sproles.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, Kenyon was so good last year that even if he parted ways with the Eagles, there's going to be another NFL team to scoop him up because he was so good last year for the Eagles.
Yeah, and there's a couple of these local guys I think that might latch onto one of these NFL teams.
Yeah, so I was scouring all the local names. These are some names that we covered at the high school level. And hopefully we didn't miss any. And if we did, please hit us up on Twitter at @inland_sports. But a couple of those undrafted free agents that signed: Vianney Talamaival, he went to the Seattle Seahawks, the big O lineman out of USC. Marcus Baugh, the tight end from The Ohio State, signed with the Raiders. I was kind of surprised. I really thought that Marcus Baugh, along with Kylie Fitz, would be our local guys in the NFL draft. Fitz got selected by the Bears. I really thought Marcus Baugh was going to be picked up there, but now he's going to the Raiders. Maybe we'll see if he can latch on there as a tight end. And the other guy, another Centennial guy, Garrett Hughes, the defensive lineman out of New Mexico, he is going to the Buffalo Bills. So all those guys signed undrafted free agent contracts. We had a couple other local guys. They're getting minicamp tryouts. So they've got a spot to go to minicamp, but nothing else is guaranteed. So it's not even training camp, it's a minicamp tryout. Excuse me. Including We got Nick Stevens, former quarterback from Vista Marietta High School. He's going to that minicamp tryout with the Washington Redskins. He leaves Colorado State University as the all-time leader in touchdown passes and second in school history in passing yards. So he had a phenomenal career with the Colorado State Rams. And then Jamal Morrow, guy who's done our show a couple times.
Yeah, great guy.
The Swiss Army knife at Washington State. I mean, this guy, a running back, but he caught the ball a lot out of the backfield, returned kicks. He did a little bit of everything at Washington State for head coach Mike Leach. He will have a mini camp tryout with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So again, some of these guys, they just need the opportunity. Just leave the door open a little bit, let them squeeze in, make their mark, and, you know, make that great first impression. All you need is a mini camp tryout to be like, okay, you know what, we'll bring you into our normal, you know, training camp. See if you can win a job on that 53-man roster.
Oh, a couple guys that stand out. You know, Talamavao, am I saying that correctly?
Sure are.
Yeah, look at me. You know, the USC connection to Pete Carroll with the Seahawks, that might, I mean, he's still very, very tight with the USC. Maybe that'll help him. But one thing that stands out for me, I'm looking at the Raiders, is Marcus Baugh. Marcus Baugh was a all Big 12 performer. You know, didn't have a great year last year, but very athletic.
Big Ten, right?
Yeah,
Ohio State.
Sorry, yeah. Big Ten. All Big Ten. Played for Ohio State, scored a touchdown we saw in the Big House versus Michigan. He might latch on just because of his size and athletic ability. He can catch the ball. I think maybe things in his past might have hurt him for the draft, but he's a fine player and played in a big-time conference and under big-time conditions. So maybe he has a shot to land with the Raiders.
Yeah, he went to the NFL Combine, and that's by invite only. Kylie Fitz was there, and Marcus Baugh are only two local guys. That's why I thought maybe Marcus Baugh had a chance to go in the later rounds, maybe 6th, 7th round pick. But he signed with the Raiders, so we'll see if he can win a job.
Yeah, in fact, going into the Combine, he was rated as the 8th tight end in the Combine, but dropped down to 16th best tight end according to many draft prospects. But like I said, he's a athletic, big.
He was a stud basketball player.
Very good basketball player.
Something about those tight ends, you know what I mean? Like, these tight ends in the NFL these days, some of them, I'd say maybe a majority of them, have that basketball background as well.
And you look at their size, and you know, you have Guy Gates was a great player, one of the best over with the Chargers.
Tony Gonzalez.
Another basketball player. They're all in the same mold. They're like 6'4", 6'5". They've got great jumping ability, great athletic ability, great speed. The only knock against Baugh is his route running. They say he's not that fast. But hey, you're going for 10 yards a shot, 5 yards a shot. There might be a
blocking.
Spot for him. So there might be a shot for him.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on our local guys as you know, the rookie mini camps will be coming up, and then we'll have, you know, the full-on mini camps where all the veterans and everybody come together. Then sure enough, before you know it's going to be July, and the training camps will open up across the NFL, which is crazy as we get closer to another football season. The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by our friends at Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets. That's Ken's Sporting Goods. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, how about some NBA playoff talk? We've got one game tonight, but all the other series are underway. LeBron James lives to see another day. We'll talk about that as well. We'll be back. It's your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show, on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Guy's 50. He's got a mustache.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're a small family-owned, strive for quality pre-owned vehicles. We're not a volume dealer, and we take every deal as personal to us. We're a low-stress environment. We're not a pressure sales house. If you want to shop us, you're more than welcome to shop us. We have, like I said, great rates, competitive financing, a lot of one-owner, clean Carfax, clean title vehicles. As you see, we have Carfax everywhere. That's most important to us, to educate our customers before they make a purchase. We're right off of Ontario, right off a couple exits off the 15 freeway, off Cajalco, off El Cerrito, and we're right on the main drag going into Dos Logos and the Crossings. We have great financing, we have great lenders that we're using. We do buy, sell, trade, cash for your car. Whatever we need to do to help accommodate the customer, that's what we're here for. We have a little bit of everything. We start at about $69.95 and go all the way up to $100,000. We have Escalades, we have commuters, we have pickup trucks, we have Jeeps, sport utilities, and if we don't have it, our specialty is finding you exactly what you're looking for.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pat Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
We are back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 a.m. Jeff Gorham, Greg Holla, Pep Fernandez. This is the Inland Sports Show, 3 to 6 p.m. every single weekday. We don't work weekends. We're hanging out at the beach. Greg likes to go climbing up in the mountains. I don't know what Jeff does besides go to SeaWorld. I'm at the movie theater. We just hang out.
Oh, well, I picked up a new hobby.
Over the weekend?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
The last couple weeks, the noodling is really getting
noodling's drying up?
No, it's getting ready to kick into high gear.
Okay.
But during the winter months, I got to find something new. So I've been spelunking. I've been going out.
Yeah.
I've been going out on Saturday mornings early before the kids get up. I take my pith helmet. I got my light. I connect to my helmet, and I like to
take a little pickaxe and
bring my ropes, and I like to find holes in the ground. And I like to check them out. I like to spelunk.
It's a little dangerous, though.
I live dangerous. You should know this by now.
Yeah, I do know that.
What if you found a leprechaun?
Well, I tell you, if I find, my goal is right now is I'm going to join. I'm going to see if there's anybody. I know there's a lot of people in the Inland Empire. I'm going to join a paranormal society.
You are?
Yes. There's a lot of paranormal things going on, and there's a couple friends of mine that run a paranormal guys literally will they what do you call it when you
look for ghosts? Or?
Yeah, they look for ghosts. They're ghost hunters.
You know what?
I have ghost hunter friends.
You know what are in holes? Spiders, snakes, scorpions.
I go into big holes. I go to big caverns.
Wait, hold on. What?
Spelunking.
Is there a possibility that Bigfoot could live in caves?
There's definitely a possibility. Have you ever been spelunking?
No.
Oh,
I've been in caves.
I have spelunked across the world. When I was in New Zealand playing a little round ball, I used to go to this South Island, the Waitomo glowworm caves. Have you ever heard of the Waitomo glowworm? Okay, well, there's this place on South Island. You spelunk down into a hole, and literally, it's just a hole in the middle of the ground. And you go down, and there's these caverns, and there's underground rivers, and there are glowworms, and glowworms are the most beautiful things I've ever seen to this day.
And you miss it.
Huh?
And you miss it.
I
That's
do
why
miss
you're
it.
getting back in the game.
I need to get back into spelunking because there are parts of this universe, parts of this world
undiscovered
that I have seen with my own eyes, and I will say this. There is nothing more beautiful than the glowworm caves of Waitomo.
You know what? You need to find an undiscovered cavern and name it after yourself.
That's what I'm doing on weekends. Saturday mornings, I'm going out. In fact, I'm going to go up
just looking for big holes to climb in. And
just
name it.
I bring my gear,
right?
And then I'm gonna track all of these caverns that I find, and I'm gonna map
it. You got to map it out.
Them out.
You got to map it out.
You're darn right, and that's what.
So you're gonna go on the whole like Forrest Gump did when he was in Vietnam, just head first.
No. I'm very careful. I have all these.
You rappel, right? You rappel down to the caverns.
I've done it before, and I'm going to continue.
How far have you went down?
Oh, 700 feet. 700 feet. That's the farthest I've gone.
That's deep
down.
into the earth.
Deep into the earth. Not near the magma.
No.
But I'm telling
the core, yeah.
I'm telling you, I need something else besides noodling because right now I'm really bored. I'm so excited for noodling. I can't wait to go to Lake Tawakoni in the middle of summer.
How many ropes does it take to hold you to go down?
A lot of rope.
No,
That's a big rope.
I'm using some high quality nylon mesh.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
I thought it was like one of those big
catgut.
ropes that you dock the ships with.
No, I couldn't carry those.
Big sturdy ropes.
They've got to
like
be
an anchor.
They've got to be light so I can put in my backpack. But a lot of them are made of catgut, real catgut. So it's very, very strong.
So do you have a helmet with a light on it?
Yes, I do. A pith helmet with a light
in these deep dark holes.
I have a nice light, a nice pith helmet. I wear a wetsuit because usually there's a lot of water. It's very moist down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll wear my hiking gear, and I'm ready. I go. In fact, I'm going to bring you guys with me when I get better.
Next time?
Next time I go, I'm thinking about.
What if I don't have a hat with a light on?
I have all the gear for you.
Okay.
All the gear. So we're ready anytime.
Ready to go?
Yes.
You have to have big hands or small hands?
If you have small hands, forget it. You can't go.
Yeah, but what if you have to get like in little nook and crannies?
Then
you need a small hand guy.
That's why you bring your kids. That's why I bring my. That's why I bring. I'll put
Fast Johnny.
No, I'll put Luke on my backpack, and he's little enough. He's a year and a half. I just I throw some little goldfish out there to him. The little crackers. I throw some goldfish out there, and he climbs into the holes. And then I know he's okay because I connect a rope to him. He's fine.
You pull him back out.
I pull him back out, so I know that's how I map him. I map it. Yep.
That's how you're mapping.
Yes.
All those caverns.
Yes.
The Jeff Gorham caverns.
Yes.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. We got to get to the NBA playoffs. The Warriors, as we all suspected here, They hit New Orleans hard in that first game, 123-101. So Golden State leads that playoff series 1-0. And help is on the way. Here comes Steph Curry. They are saying he'll be back for game 2, coming back from that MCL injury. So, Jeff, my question to you, is there any way that, okay, so Golden State looks so good in game 1. Is there any way that Steph could disrupt what the Warriors have going on? But they've played together for so long, right? It shouldn't matter.
Yeah, I think if there is an issue, if you're Steve Kerr, you just yank him out of the game real quick and you go with what you've gone through. But people forget this. They are way better with Steph Curry than without Steph Curry.
Yeah, and it's not
way better. Not even close.
Like they're not used to playing with him. They've won a title with him. Like, this is the core group. It's not like, hey, who's this new guy? No. They've done this for a long, long time.
And the thing is, I think everybody forgets how good Steph Curry is. He makes everybody around him much better. Kevin Durant's a better player. Draymond Green's a better player. Thompson is a much better player. They are all better because he is a scoring point guard. He's a great ball handler. He's got great court vision, and he's such a good scorer that it opens up the floor. It creates space. It gives guys lanes, and I don't see any problem with them beating the Pelicans. People are saying that the Pelicans were going to come and beat the Warriors. There's no way.
Get real.
I think the Warriors still, outside of the Rockets, are the best team in the world.
So easily, game 1 goes to Golden State. Steph Curry's coming back. That's a scary thought that the Warriors could be even better, but they can. We've seen it before, and it looks like they're heading that direction again. Also in the Western Conference semis, the Rockets take game 1 against Jeff's Jazz, 110-96. James Harden dropped 41 in that win. Again, Jeff, Houston, Golden State, they have been on this collision course all year long, right, to meet in the Western Conference Finals. I think they're going to prove it here in the semifinals. Does the Jazz, do they even put up a fight against Houston? Maybe on their home floor in Salt Lake City, but is this even a series?
I think it is a series, and I'll tell you why. I think the Rockets are very, very talented. Harden can score probably better than anybody in the NBA offensively. But, guys, they're streaky. They are streaky. You have Capella, who's a very great athlete, but you're not going to get much out of him.
Kind of like a DeAndre Jordan, right?
We have seen Harden disappear in playoff games. Last year, he was an absolute abysmal in that Game 7. This year, the same thing. They're going to be up and down. They're going to have their growing pains. And I'll tell you what, Utah will steal a couple wins from Houston for the sheer fact that they run their offense well. They've got a superstar, a budding superstar. Donovan Mitchell, I think, is probably one of the top 3 guards in the NBA right now as a rookie. And I'm throwing it out there. He is that good, but they're well coached. You got Quinn Snyder. They've got Rudy Gobert. And they've got,
But Ricky Rubio's been hurt.
Ricky Rubio, he's going to be out for 10 days, and that will cost them because
that's the series,
that
basically.
That could be a series, but I think that they're so well coached. I think they'll adjust to that game 1 loss. They got beat 110-96. That's not a complete blowout,
no.
Especially when you're on the road. Utah was on the road, and they were hanging with them, but you can't let James Harden get 41. You've got to make everybody else on that team beat you. If it's Chris Paul gets 41, that's fine. Then they deserve to win, but you can't let James Harden go nutso and get 41.
So that's the West. Over in the East, LeBron James, he lives to see another day. Cleveland moving on. They're going to take on Toronto. And, Jeff, after beating the Pacers in Game 7 to move on to the semis in the East, I like Cleveland against Toronto in this series. I think Cleveland's going to get past Toronto.
I think they're going to get past Toronto, but I think it's also going to be a long series. I don't think it's going to be, hey, we're going to beat
Indiana was a knockdown, drag-out fight, you know?
And I do think, and I'm going to say, I think that Toronto is better than Indiana. They are better. They're a better team. They have better scorers.
Yes.
They have 2 guys that are better than anybody other than maybe Oladipo. Would you agree there?
I like DeMar DeRozan. He's probably the best-kept secret in the NBA. Again, he's a USC guy, but, they play in Toronto. We don't talk about them. We don't see them.
They're all kept secrets up there because we don't follow Toronto basketball. We don't.
I forget they even have a team half the time.
But you remember, they're seeded number 1 for a reason. They can score the basketball.
They can, yes.
And I'll tell you what, if you are LeBron James, you can't be happy after those 7-game series.
It's a long, grueling series.
But here's the stat that makes you think about this. He's the only guy that scored more than 20 points on any single game in that series. LeBron James had to carry him for 7 games. If he has to carry him for 21
games, He will have to carry him again in this series.
But
That's the thing. He's exhausted, and he's going to have to carry him again.
If he carries them past this series, he's going to play. This could be possibly 21 games before he has to play a real team. And anybody in the West that comes out is going to be a formidable opponent to anybody in the East.
I didn't look at that Game 7 win against Indiana, how many minutes he played, but I'm going to guess it was
all of them.
Was it every, I mean,
no, but
I'm going to guess it was at least 45.
He played every minute in the second half, which he has done for the last 7 games.
I bet you he played about 45 in that game, if I was going to guess, without even looking.
It is a ridiculous stat that he has played 7 games, and he has played the entire second half of each of those 7 games. I don't see how his body can do it, but he is LeBron James.
So Cavs Raptors, that could be fun. That could be a knockdown drag out. The other one, and this is the series that we're going to see for a long, long time, I think, in the Eastern Conference. These are the two budding powers out east. It's Philadelphia and Boston, both young, both really good. This might be Philly's year to squeeze past Boston because the Celtics are shorthanded. But even despite being shorthanded, they're really good with a bunch of guys that aren't named Gordon Hayward or Kyrie Irving. Boston's still really good. This is going to be a fun series. It starts tonight at 5 o'clock. So, Jeff, we can actually have a live update later in the show between Boston and Philly. I'll stick to my guns. I'll go with Philly getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think it'll be Philly against LeBron and the Cavs in the East.
Well, I'll tell you what, Philly is that team of the future, but you really can't count out this Boston Celtics team. They're without their 2 best players, and they are playing at such a high level. Guys that you didn't anticipate being superstars are stepping up their game. They are going to be shorthanded tonight. Their point guard, Jaylen Brown, is out for game 1 versus the 76ers. That means Marcus Smart will have to start in his place and play a lot of minutes. He was injured for a lot of the time. Marcus Smart is going to have to pick up the pieces of this Boston Celtics team.
That segment was brought to you by our friends at Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Check out their strength and speed class. The first one is always absolutely free. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we'll circle back to some Major League Baseball. A couple local guys in the news. Trevor Oaks making his Major League debut out of Cal Baptist. And Taijuan Walker, he's shutting it down for the season. And, Jeff, another guy got called up to the big leagues. We'll talk about that, too. Another local IE guy back in the bigs. We'll talk about that. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
It's Monday. We're back. We're talking sports for the IE. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Did you hear that? The Inland Sports Show. It's your favorite show. We're brought to you by Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You can buy, you can trade, and you can finance at Catalano Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Next time you're looking for a car or truck, there's only one spot, Catalano Motors, CatalanoCars.com. We're talking baseball. Jeff, you brought it to my attention. A guy that we know very well on this show is back in the big leagues.
Rod Carew?
No, not Rod Carew.
Who's back?
You silly goose, as I'd tell my daughters. You silly goose.
Fred Lynn.
You silly splunkering goose.
Fred Lynn is making a comeback.
No, Brooks Pounders. Best name in baseball.
Brooks Pounders is playing. In fact, they're playing at Chicago today.
Who's they?
I believe the Colorado Rockies.
You're right.
And our boy Pounders is back in the big leagues.
Good to see him back. He's bounced around a little bit. He was with the Kansas City Royals for a little cup of coffee, a little cup of joe. Then he's with the Angels, a little cup of joe. Now he's with the Colorado Rockies. So good to see Brooks Pounders back up in the big leagues.
I wonder if his dad will be there.
Probably crying. Just sobbing all over himself.
Sobbing all over the place. His dad, though, was one of the toughest guys I ever grew up with. Was a stalwart stud at UC Riverside. Had lived in the minor leagues for years. But, man, I'll tell you what, just a phenomenal athlete. Played golf with him. He hits the ball a ton. And now, look, I need to have my boys need to be tough like the Pounders kids.
Well, they don't have a last name like Pounders.
No, for
you got
nothing.
Gorham.
Yeah, Gorham. Yeah, that's not going to help him.
Hey, remember we were talking about Jacob Nottingham, the guy out of Redlands High School?
The sheriff of Nottingham, yes.
Got called up by the Milwaukee Brewers last week, made his MLB debut, started his first major league game. Well, they had to send him back down to AAA. He knew it was going to be a short stint up there, but he's tearing it up. I saw he was since he's been back from the big leagues, he was 9 for 13, a home run, a triple, a couple doubles. He's been tearing it up. So if you're the Brewers, come on, call him back up. He does not belong in AAA. He needs to be in the big leagues. He needs to be in the big leagues now.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Speaking of being back in the big leagues, Trevor Oaks out of Woodcrest Christian High School and Cal Baptist University. He made history over the weekend being the first CBU baseball player to make it to the major leagues. Got called up for a day-night doubleheader for the Kansas City Royals against the White Sox. Started game one of that one. So he knew he was coming up. He's going to make a start in the big leagues, and they're going to send him back down to AAA, but that's okay. Got called up, played against the White Sox. Didn't go exactly according to plan. He did last 5 innings, but he did give up 5 runs. He struck out 4 in an 8-zip loss to the White Sox. Here's Trevor Oaks following that start, his major league debut. So the media caught up to him and, obviously asked about his first start in the big leagues. They had family and friends and old Gary Adcock out there in Kansas City.
He's actually in the video if you see it. Well, you can't see him. He's really short.
He's underneath the camera. Trust me, he's there. Here's Trevor Oaks of the Kansas City Royals.
Obviously, a lot of excitement, adrenaline. Didn't exactly go the way I wanted it to, but, it's fun being here and excited to have that opportunity.
For 4 innings, did you feel like you were handling it pretty good? I mean, there were some base runners, but you were getting out of most of them.
Yeah, I got out of a couple jams. Some weak contact hits that kind of killed me a little bit, and then that one big double that, cleared the bases. Looking back at it, I think I can make some different pitches there and execute a little bit better and keep the ball down. But, I'm going to learn from a lot of this, and I think it's a good first start. And I'm going to move forward and do the best I can to get back up here for sure.
You have family here, friends?
Yeah, I had a lot of family and friends. Coaches from college came out too, so it was awesome, having their support and stuff. It's also an accomplishment for them too. They've had my back for the whole time, and a lot of work put in to help develop me as a player. So it was cool to have them here.
Trevor Oaks, everybody, the pride of Woodcrest, the pride of CBU, making Lancer history, making his first start over the weekend. Mark your calendars. Wednesday, 5 o'clock, right here on the Inland Sports Show. Trevor Oaks is going to join us live on the show. How about that? A real treat for everybody.
Yeah, and I'm excited to talk to him. I mean, you got to think about for a young man that gets called up on basically a day's notice. Hey, you're playing in the major leagues. Not a whole lot of studying time to know who you're throwing against. You know, playing against a really good White Sox team. But he's going to be just fine. He sounds very poised.
Oh, he had a smile on his face. Again, it didn't go, as well as he would want it to. But, dude, for the rest of your life, regardless of what happens from here, you pitched in the major leagues. And it wasn't, listen, don't get me wrong, it wasn't awful. Just wasn't probably what he was hoping for, because he's a great pitcher.
Well, and he's, like you said, he's coming into a situation where he gets called up. Not a whole lot of scouting. A lot of these guys.
Pack your bags. Your uniform's going to be hanging up, waiting for you. Throw it on, and then you're going to run out to the mound and pitch.
Yeah, and I've had a few friends that, believe it or not, that played baseball and were pitchers, and they do a lot of studying. They got to know how to throw these pitches to certain guys. And he's thrown into the mix. Hey, just throw. And he did just fine. He'll be great.
All right, so that was Trevor Oaks. He'll join us live on this show, 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the pride of CBU and Woodcrest Christian. Also, another local guy, because the Dodgers are taking on the Diamondbacks tonight. Again, if you haven't heard, the breaking news, Corey Seager is done for the season. Our good friend Kurt Sandoval at ABC7 breaking that news on Twitter that Corey Seager is done. Tommy John surgery. They're going to shut it down for the rest of the season with him. So now we're talking about Puig's hurt right now. Justin Turner, JT's still out. Logan Forsythe is hurt. Like, guys are just falling right and
Hill's
left.
Hurt. The pitcher's hurt.
Rich Hill. I mean, it's just a mash unit out there. If there's a silver lining, I guess, the pride of Riverside Poly, Austin Barnes, might see more at-bats, some more starts out there at second base. But, yeah, the Dodgers are simply a mess. The Dodgers taking on Arizona tonight. They're going to see Zach Greinke because they will not see Taijuan Walker. The pride of Yucaipa High School, #Yucktown, just went successful Tommy John surgery, although they never say, oh, the surgery went bad. I mean, that was really bad. We really screwed up on this guy. No, it was great. It was successful. Taijuan Walker's doing well. And but the media talked to Taijuan Walker before the surgery, after they had realized that the injury was pretty bad. In fact, it was a game on April 14th against the Dodgers. He was pitching against the Dodgers, but he only lasted 2 innings because he had a tear in his UCL, his ulnar collateral ligament. That doesn't sound good.
No, sounds horrible.
No, so they finally said, you know what? Let's just do it. We're going to have Tommy John surgery. So Taijuan Walker is going to be done all of this year and even into next season, into 2019. That's how long it takes to rehab from one of these, especially for a pitcher. So here's Taijuan Walker. He was talking about the injury. This was before the surgery, but the decision really to just shut it down, and just come back at full strength for next season.
Very disappointing, especially with the way I feel. It didn't feel that serious. It still doesn't, but the MRI showed it had pretty good tear in there, and I think the best option right now is just get it done and get it fixed and rehab and be ready to come back next year.
How surprising was it, given how you felt coming out of the game? You seemed pretty confident.
Yeah, I did, and I still do. It just really sucks. Just going off the way I feel, and then seeing the MRI, and it just sucks. I want to be out there in the field, with the guys and helping the team win. But it's a process. It's gonna be a long process. It's gonna be a long journey. But I have a really good support system here, all the guys, and I have guys who have gone through it, and someone who's still going through it right now that I can lean on and get advice from.
Taijuan Walker, #Yucktown. I love that guy, man. I wish he was healthy because it looks like Arizona's going to have a good team, and he was going to be a key cog in that starting rotation for the Diamondbacks this year.
Hey, best start in franchise history for the Diamondbacks. Yeah, tough one. Tough loss there for our guy.
Yeah, so he had Tommy John. Corey Seager's having Tommy John for the Dodgers. So some bad news, but these guys are great athletes, you know what I mean? Like, their bodies are second to none, and they're going to bounce back in a big way. We saw, in fact, we were talking about this earlier, Tyler Chatwood, who just got his second straight win for the Chicago Cubs.
He had 2.
He's had 2 Tommy John surgeries, and now he's got a spot in the starting rotation for the Cubs, and he's never been better. Back-to-back wins for the Cubs, 7 innings, no runs, allowed just 2 hits in that win against the Brewers. So Tyler Chatwood doing just fine, the pride of Redlands East Valley. So, All right, when we come back, hey, speaking of baseball, we're going to touch on some high school baseball when we come back. We also have our Marines recruiting station Riverside Athlete of the Week. We'll be back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I'd say that's my passion because I've done it. You know, I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, you know, work with what we know. We can take an athlete and you know, help them reach their athletic potential, you know, help them, you know, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, you know, really what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, you know, in terms of speed, power, you know, strength, agility.
Focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. Just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. Come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. Guess where I'm going?
I don't know, but I got the good vibrations, baby.
Spoiled. Quick quality oil change. You'll be spoiled by great customer service and the lowest prices. I know you need an oil change. Go ahead. Look. It's right on the gauges. You're going to see they put the little sticker on the window.
They do.
You need an oil change. You're overdue. You've gone over like 1,000 miles. You're probably panicking right now. Go to Spoiled. It's probably on your way home. Spoiled. Quick quality oil change off of Alessandro Boulevard here in the Riv. Hashtag the Riv raised me. Raised me at Spoiled.
Hey, is there
anything? My car's there for years.
There is nothing better than good vibrations from Marky Mark and this bunch of funkies. The Funky Bunch.
You love old Marky Mark.
Dude, he was the best.
So this is the same Marky Mark that was in Planet of the Apes?
The same
or was he
one.
In that, or Transformers?
He was in Transformers. He was also in that really stupid Planet of the Apes one that they made.
That's the one I saw.
Oh, it's terrible.
Was that a bad one?
Bad call.
Did you like him in Transformers?
Yeah, he's cool.
So he was a rapper before, what was the sport? Invincible. He did that one, right?
Yes. How do you not know?
How
do you not remember the Funky Bunch? He used to dance around without his shirt on. He was like ripped. Like
you were listening to Marky Mark. I was listening to I Got Friends in No Places.
When I was in college, it was all about Vanilla Ice
and Marky Mark.
Can I just say though, at the time I was like, I really hate these guys. But now that I've grown older, I just think their music was kind of catchy and fun. You remember though? Do you know who Marky Mark's brother is?
Backstreet guy. Yeah. No. Help me out, Greg. The New Kids on the Block guy.
Yeah, how dare you besmirch the names of the
NSYNC guy.
NSYNC, yeah.
I don't know, man.
New Kids on the Block.
I got to say, one of the best movies I ever seen with Mark Wahlberg was Fear. But Reese
Oh, that's crazy. He was nuts.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
The best line. Oh,
Hey.
there's a thing. It's great.
If you have daughters, this is your worst nightmare.
I'm not going to watch it then.
Yeah. When he answers, he's like, oh, there's a scene in that movie where he knocks on the door and he's like screams right into the peephole. And it was really creepy. I was working at a movie theater, I think, when that movie came out.
You were always working at a movie theater.
I'd go sweep up popcorn during that scene. I'd always go, I remember the scene.
One of the best scenes was when the dad poked him in the chest and he started hitting his chest.
Oh, yeah.
His girlfriend thought he was hit.
Yeah. Oh, it was
it's
nuts.
It's a good movie. You need to see it.
You guys give me the willies over here.
The Funky Bunch. Man, did you like New Kids on the Block?
Do you think I like New Kids on the Block?
Come on,
Jeff?
why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You like other weird stuff? You never liked the New Kids?
Garth.
All right.
Garth Brooks.
Hey, do they have boy bands in country music? Like they have to.
Yeah, maybe Rascal Flatts was kind of like that. That was like late 90s. Big and Rich was the duo.
Hey!
Florida Georgia Line.
Wait a second.
Yes.
The New Kids, didn't they have a country album like recently? Like a crossover? I think
Holla?
I'm right.
Wait, Holla's our music guy.
I want to bet that they had a country. That
doesn't sound.
No, they went on tour with this country band. I'm telling you, I know my stuff.
I don't know.
Don't you question me. Don't you question me, Pep Fernandez.
I don't think it's
We're going
right.
to look it up because they did tour with a country band.
We're going to have to look that
Fact
one
guy.
up. Google alert.
Fact guy.
Google alert.
Google fact guy. Yes, they toured. They toured or performed with a country band, and they're going to have their own country album. I know.
Let me ask Greg Holla this. Who's the rapper who's been in several country music songs and videos?
Oh, Nelly.
Hey, he's got it right. Nellyville. Yeah, Nellyville. Nelly. Yeah.
Is that the guy with the Band-Aid on his face?
Oh, yeah.
Does he still wear the
why
band?
he has that?
Why does he have the Band-Aid on his face?
That's for his friend that's in prison.
It is?
Free Mick Mill. Yeah. It's not Mick.
Mink Mill?
Did you say Mick Mill?
No, it's for one of his homies that's in jail.
One of his homies.
So that's his way of saying, like, hey, you're
What's
with
up,
me.
man?
Oh!
You're like a cut on my face.
My boy just sent me a text.
Who?
Brent Calhoun, my guy used to work in the movie theater with me. I'm sure he knows.
Scooping up popcorn.
Hey, they toured with the Florida-Georgia line.
They were with Florida-Georgia Line?
Boom! I told you I got peeps.
I had no idea.
I have peeps in low places just like Garth Brooks. And my man, Brent Calhoun, knows it all. Booyah.
I can't believe New Kids are still
what are you
singing
talking?
or touring.
Don't you besmirching Joey McIntyre.
I don't. They're still
the
together?
Wahlberg. Yes, they're together. Gosh, man, people going, they're huge.
Man.
Ginormous, man.
Not bigger than Florida Georgia Line.
Oh, they're way bigger.
No.
Oh, how dare you be smirched?
No way.
You're nutso.
When were they big? Like late 80s?
Shh. Hey, I actually saw.
I want to hear this.
You saw New Kids?
Wait, no, I actually saw. What is it? True Hollywood Stories about like when they would tour, and like women would basically the security guards would sleep with the moms in order for the daughters to get to the New Kids on the Block section, and that's some crazy stuff.
That sounds like a good time.
You know,
I should have been a New Kid. Step. See, this is good stuff.
No, I hate the boy band stuff. We got to keep talking sports here. Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350
It wasn't the New Kids.
What?
It wasn't the New Kids. It was the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, you're wrong. Get out of here.
I don't even know. Aren't they the same thing?
I don't know. You tell me.
Same company.
You guys are the boy band guys.
I was all excited for the New Kids.
Boy band guys.
Backstreet Boys. The Backstreets. But you know who the best boy band of all time is?
No, I don't.
98 Degrees.
Okay, that's great.
You're crazy. That's the one that was married to Jessica Simpson.
Nick Lachey.
Nick Lachey. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Nick Lachey, he can sing. He's got some good pipes. 98 Degrees, my best favorite boy band ever.
My favorite boy band, the Rialto Knights baseball team. Those guys get together, crank out some sweet tunes on the diamond. Big win. Jeff, we saw this game against San Gorgonio at the County Clash.
I was there.
6-1. Rialto wins, keeps their playoff hopes alive. But I bring this up because there were Major League Baseball scouts crawling all over San Manuel Stadium trying to get a look at Vic Vodnik, the star pitcher for Rialto. We interviewed him after the game because he's probably going to hear his name called in the Major League Baseball draft. That's a lot of pressure for a young guy. You take the mound, you're in a professional stadium, you've got Major League scouts all around you, and you got to perform. And after giving up a run in the first inning against Sanchi, he locked it down.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive. That first inning was a little shaky, but then he kind of calmed down, smoothed got his way, hit the ball. They hit him twice, too.
Yeah, he hit leadoff, and he literally got hit twice.
He got hit in the leg.
Yeah.
That's why his first inning, they beamed him twice. He got hit in the arm and his leg.
They don't want him to hit.
Bruised all up. But, man, what a nice night. I didn't know that County Clash.
County Clash.
People need to go out and watch that thing. That was awesome baseball.
And we've got one more coming up on Saturday, and it's all the land of the Big Eight. I don't have the matchups in front of me, but I think the nightcap is Corona against King.
King, are they still atop the Big Eight?
No, I don't think so. Look it up. It's a logjam. It is a mess. Norco was beating King, and Roosevelt was beating, I think it was Santiago. Like, it's a mess out there.
Santiago has the best baseball player in the world.
Bryce Terang.
And
one of the best pitchers in the area.
He could Terang could be the number one pick in the draft.
He could be. He's probably a first rounder in the Major League Baseball draft, a first rounder. Talking millions of dollars. His life's going to change like that.
They were hanging out in Tobacco Road playing for that national championship earlier this season.
The National High School Invitational.
They're playing. There were two teams from the Trinity League in that as well. So,
Olu won it. Olu won the whole thing.
Olu won the whole thing.
Yeah, so big-time baseball right here in the Inland Empire, and it's always an interesting dynamic. You got a young kid. He's probably thinking about prom. He's got finals coming up, graduation, and you've got all these Major League scouts in the stands, and they want to see you out there balling out, and he did. He really performed. He looked great against San Gorgonio, so shout out to Vic Vodnik. You can check out his highlights on the next Sports Weekly on IEMG. But right now, we've got to announce our Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week, and it's another high school pitcher, and this guy can deal as well. We're talking about the great Temecula Valley Golden Bear, Ethan Clough. 14 strikeouts, a complete game for the Clough Dog. A 4-3 win against Murrieta Valley. Ethan Clough was off the hook. As the Golden Bears are in first place right now in the Southwestern League. They're going to win it. They're going to win that league title. And that's a really tough title to win. There's good baseball down there in the Temecula-Murrieta area.
And they only play 7 innings, for God's sakes. You got 14 Ks?
He struck out, what, 2/3 of all the batters?
Holy smokes.
Yeah, he's a big time. He's a Long Beach State commit. And Ethan Clough for dealing for the Golden Bears. I mean, he was fantastic against Murrieta Valley, they're in second place. And at the time, they were still challenging for the Southwestern League title. But Ethan Clough said, no dice. I'm bringing it tonight for the Golden Bears. So he was dealing on the mound, 14 strikeouts, a 4-3 win against the Nighthawks, and he is the Marines Recruiting Station Riverside Athlete of the Week. So we've got some big high school baseball games coming up in these final 2 weeks because League champions will be decided. Playoff positioning will be decided. I mean, you could just go to the County Clash this week. That Big 8 league, those games are going to be awesome, and there's so much on the line because a lot of those schools are Division I. Kings Division I, Santiago's Division I. I know Corona's Division I. They went to the CIF Finals last year at Dodger Stadium. So really good baseball, and these guys are fighting for that league title, fighting just to get into the playoffs. So it's going to be some great baseball out there as well. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show, we'll talk more Major League Baseball. Also, the latest CIF Southern Section baseball rankings. And I'm surprised we've got no local schools ranked in Division I.
What the hell?
No North, no King.
What?
No Corona.
That
no
is
Santiago. None of them.
That is some straight BS.
Yeah, it really breaks my heart over here. We'll be back. It's the one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports, IE, 1350 AM.
Do you know who I am?
No.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
How you guys doing today? Coach Ray here from Boost Training. We're here today at the Boost Performance Center with the one and only Pep Fernandez. Today's Boost Training tip is all about strength. And of course, it's very specific to speed. We're talking about the single leg supported low squat. Come check it out. So when it comes to athletic performance, and more specifically speed, it's all about the ability to generate force, all about being nice and strong. Now, running is a single leg motion. So it makes sense that you have to have a great foundation of strength. You gotta have single leg strength. So this exercise really works on that single leg strength here with a deep bend in the hips, the knees, and the ankles. So what Mike is gonna do is gonna have an open hand grip. all right? He's gonna get nice and tight to the rack. He's gonna be doing this, he's gonna have his right foot on the ground. He's gonna flex his left knee, all right? He's gonna lower himself nice and easy. He's gonna tap that left knee on the ground and then come up. Now, go ahead and do a couple reps here, Micah. All right, so what we want here is we really wanna emphasize pushing that left foot in the ground, that right foot in the ground and not pulling himself up, which is why we have the open hand grip. And as I mentioned before, really getting that deep bend in the ankles, the knees, and the hips, just as if we were sprinting. So if you're not doing this exercise, you really want to add it to your repertoire because it's a great drill for building speed and generating force. We do it right here at Boost.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. Thanks for rocking out with us on a Monday. Talking about local Inland Empire sports and breaking news across the Southern California landscape. Corey Seager, Tommy John surgery for the Dodgers, done for the season.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you something. Did you guys see on the news the other day that this guy, this surfer from local California guy, surfed the biggest wave recorded in history?
I saw the video of that. You have to look really hard. You barely see him. That's how big the wave was. You even barely see him in the barrel, and then you lose him. Like, hopefully he's okay. Like, he gets lost in the barrel.
Big wave here?
No, the big wave was in Portugal.
That's right.
And his name, he's a local guy. His name is Rodrigo Coxa, and he rode the biggest wave ever. It was over 80 feet tall.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so he got some big award. He said his name, Coxa. Coxa's his
What,
name.
does it say his hometown?
It's somewhere here in Southern California. Santa Monica.
Okay.
Santa Monica.
Somewhere along the beach, I figured, yeah.
Yeah, and he set the world record. And now he's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
80 feet. Like, I know it's, if you see the video, it's pretty impressive. I mean, that is life and death. That's a life and death situation.
Know how to catch that wave? Like, it was going to be 80 feet.
Because they know, they have all those weather models. They know those waves are coming.
Dude! You know what you do? You get on this gnarly rolling, and you just put your toes over the...
Some tasty waves.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you pedal out there, and you see those 80-footers, and you go, whoa! That's crazy, man. You go under those waves, man, and you take that big, giant... You know, I'm a big surfer. Did you guys know that?
No.
Oh, dude.
Splunking, surfing, and noodling?
Dude, I'm a longboarder, man. I surf all the time, man. I go down to the, down to...
The break?
I go to Huntington Beach, man. I go to the beach, Huntington Beach, and I just go out there on my 10-foot board. It looks like a big picnic table, man. And I get, dude.
I get up early in the morning on my Saturdays and Sundays.
After or before spelunking?
Dude, this is before spelunking. This is before spelunking. This is before I go noodling, and I take that and I ride myself some big, giant waves, man. I put, you know what 10 toes over the, you know what 10 toes means?
10 toes?
10 toes. I
put them all over the front of the board.
All over the front of the board, man, on my long surfboard. Dude, I am phenomenal. I catch like 4-footers. Not 80.
You ride them all the way in.
The big Jeezy can surf, though.
Can you?
I swear to you. My man, Mark Guard, taught me how to surf, and I can do it.
I want to go surfing with Mark Guard because, honestly, I'm scared now.
What do you mean you're scared?
So one of my spring breaks in college, we went to Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Because I'm a Northern California guy, so we'd surf in Santa Cruz. One of my roommates, that's where he lived, so we'd always go down there and visit him down in Santa Cruz. So one of these days, he had to work, and me and my friends went out there with his boards. You know what an undertow is, right? A rip curl?
Yes, dude.
So you'll appreciate this, Jeff. I had a basketball injury, and my ankle was like the size of a grapefruit. It was black and blue, and it was all messed up. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go surfing anyways. So I go way out there, and I wipe out, and I didn't have my board on a leash, so I didn't have it attached to my ankle. So it washes up on shore, and I'm stuck way out in the water. And I'm telling this other guy, I didn't know him. He was next to me. I'm like, dude, not to panic you, but I have a really bad ankle. I could barely paddle, and I'm stuck out here. And I could tell the undertow was pulling me farther and farther out. Like, I could barely see the beach, and I was freaking out. And I remembered I had an earth science class in college, and they said if there's an undertow, you swim at 45 degrees back to the beach. If you try to go straight back to the beach, you'll never make it. The ocean will carry you out to nowhere. But if you go 45 degrees, you'll make it back. It took me like 20 minutes, but I paddled back with my bum ankle, and I barely made it back. And after that, I'm like, dude, I'm not going back in the water. I'm freaked out. Oh, I'm freaked out, man.
Yeah, that's if you
can Mark Guard help me, because I got to get over that.
Hey, if I can get up on a board, and I'm not kidding around. The board,
10 toes.
No, I could just stand on it, but it was. But I used to go with Mark every weekend, and I finally got up on the board. It took me forever, but I can longboard. Shortboard, there isn't a short.
That's hard.
Yeah, especially when you wait.
They do all the tricks. They cut back. It's tough.
And I'm 280 pounds. There's no way I'm getting on a shortboard. But no, it's a great time. But this guy rode an 80-foot wave.
That freaks. Just thinking about that and seeing that video of this guy freaks me out. Like, that is life and death. I can't even, I'm not even doing it justice right now.
No, and they have those waves that are in Northern California.
At Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
Half Moon Bay.
Yes, and people die on those.
Yes.
But do you know how they set those up? I know we're going to have to talk more sports here, but do you know how they set up that tournament every year? I saw a whole show on it.
Well, you have to be ready, right? You have to be ready to go out there.
On a moment's notice.
Because the waves, they'll be like, the waves are coming. We got to get out there right now.
But it doesn't happen every year. It happens like every few years, and it has to be a perfect.
You have to wait for the wave. Mother Nature tells you when it's time.
And you know it's coming. There's a guy that literally lives off the banks there. And he has this great meteorological computer set up, and then he sets out a call, and people come from around the world.
It's like the bat signal, puts it up in the air, and everyone comes running.
But within like a couple hours, everybody's there, and these things are incredible. They're 100-footers sometimes.
I didn't know Portugal had waves like that.
They're right between Lisbon and Porto. It's the Atlantic coast off of Portugal.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Nazaré is the beach that Coxa surfed.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because I did see the video and I was like, wow, that is insane.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any body surfing?
This body. Anytime this body goes into the water, they think it's a whale. So barnacles just.
Are you floatable? I mean,
oh yeah, I can swim.
Are you buoyant?
Wait. So how far in the ocean can you go?
I can go pretty far until all of a sudden you start hearing this noise. And then of course I go, what is that? And then of course the whales always come up to me because I'm huge and I'm really, really paley white. And
They might think you're a seal.
Humpback. I do have a hump too, but I do collect barnacles. When I go out in the ocean too long, barnacles just attach themselves to me.
Like straight off of Davy Jones' ship in Pirates, right? You're that guy.
I have remoras. You know what remoras are? Those sucker fish, the ocean sucker fish.
Oh.
That always, they trail around. They just land, and I get out of the water. I got seaweed attached to me, barnacles,
mussels,
and remoras all over me. Yeah.
Oh, that's an ugly scene.
Yeah, but I do love to surf. I can surf.
There's a place in Davy Jones's locker for you. There is. This is the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE 1350 AM. We're brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods. More than 40 years in the Inland Empire, bringing you all of your sporting gear needs and Letterman's jackets. So if you're out there getting ready for your senior pictures, you got to have the Letterman's jacket looking good. You got to go to Ken's first. KenSportingGoods.com is the website. So we were talking about the great Corey Seager, Tommy John surgery. It was breaking news during the show. He's going to be shutting it down for the rest of the year. Just saw a story right now that maybe the Dodgers would go after Manny Machado of the Baltimore Orioles.
Isn't he a knucklehead? Didn't he have some issues?
But he's a great young star. Like, I don't know if I'd put him in the Bryce Harper, Mike Trout category, but he's really good.
He did something really stupid.
Like the fight guy.
Does he have bad hair, too? Like, he takes off... Yeah.
Does he have bad hair?
He's got really bad hair. That's what I remember.
But the Dodgers are real short-handed around the infield right now, and this guy's a big bat. So anyways, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there are, premature reports out there that the Dodgers have to do something. We don't know when JT's coming back. Forsythe is out. Puig's hurt now, and Seager is done for the season. So Manny Machado's name is popping up.
Ron Say.
Because the Orioles aren't very good, so they're like, hey, get rid of him.
Bring back... No, Steve Sachs, he was
second base, wasn't he?
Second base, but he couldn't... Remember, he got the yips.
Oh, he couldn't throw it to first?
He couldn't throw it to first base.
Like old Chuck Knobloch?
Yeah, I say we bring back like Ron Say or Billy Russell. Those guys, I'm sure they can play a few games until guys get back. Old JT.
And this report also, who's claiming that the Dodgers might make a run at Manny Machado, maybe, also says that he thinks Chris Taylor is going to play the majority of short and Kike will be in center field. I kind of thought it would be the other way around, that Kike would be at short and Chris Taylor in center field. But again, this is just some reporter. Dave Roberts will have the call.
Yeah, and I trust you over these guys.
Oh, of course. We were on the pulse of the Dodgers here at the Inland Sports Show. Some more local baseball news before we wrap up this segment. The CIF Southern Section baseball rankings are released. In fact, more breaking news from this afternoon. And again, we're keeping a close eye on the rankings at this point of the season because now we go in to the final weeks of league play. Who's going to win the league title? Who's going to get to the playoffs? Who's going to make a run at the CIF Southern Section Championship? Last year, we saw Etiwanda win it all in Division II. We saw Corona get to the finals in Division I. So we always have a handful of teams from the Inland Empire make a run to Dodger Stadium to play for the championship. But Jeff, right now in Division I, no Inland Empire schools are ranked right now.
Stop it.
But you know what? Throw the rankings out the window. If Corona gets hot, Santiago gets hot, King gets hot. If one of these teams can get hot, they'll make a run. I guarantee it.
Yeah, and these teams, all you got to do is finish in the top three in your division or in your league. You're going to move in somewhere within that bunch of Division I or Division II.
Yeah, those Big 8 league schools are pretty much Division I and Division II schools. I'm not sure what Roosevelt is. Roosevelt might be a 3. I'll have to check on that one. Division II, Yucaipa is currently ranked number 2 in Division II. They are leading the Citrus Belt League right now, and the CBL race is going to be a lot of fun. Cajon was in second place. They were battling with Rev for the second spot. Redlands is in the mix. CBL's got some really good baseball. It's going to be fun in these final 2 weeks. But right now, Yucaipa is leading the CBL. They're also the number 2 team in Division II. Division III, Temecula Valley. Why not? The first place team out of the Southwestern League, the second ranked team in Division III, Temecula Valley. In fact, Temecula Valley played for the CIF Division II championship at Dodger Stadium. I want to say, I think it was 2014. So not too long ago. This is a team that's used to making deep runs in CIF and punching their ticket to Dodger Stadium. They did not win it all that year, but right now in Division III now, they are ranked number 2 by the CIF Southern Section. We can't get through all of them, but also in Division IV. This is the top 4 divisions here. In Division IV, Grand Terrace is number 2, and Hemet comes in at number 7. So we're keeping a close eye on those schools because they could be making a run to the CIF Southern Section Championship game. And again, a lot of these guys, too, will be hearing their names called in the Major League Baseball draft. So that's a big decision to make, especially if you're a guy like Bryce Terang, although in my book, I don't think it'd be much of a decision. If you're a first-round pick, got to take the money. I know he's already signed with Louisiana State, LSU, but, man, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, you can't pass that up.
No, you can't.
And Terang is one of those guys that he's going to make so much in his signing bonus that if he ever decides to go back to college, he can
pay for it, yeah.
He can pay for it with pocket change out of the money he's going to make. Hey, did you notice that our Highlanders, the local UC Riverside Highlanders, pulled up a big win versus UC Santa Barbara, 14-10 over the weekend?
Yeah, they had 10 unanswered runs yesterday. They battled all the way back, and UC Santa Barbara is not an easy place to play. So good for them to kind of battle back and get a big win against the Gauchos. They'll be back in action Tuesday night on the road at San Diego State. Who was it, 19-1 last week?
19-1 last week.
Oh, my goodness. So they get another crack at the Aztecs.
They get another shot in that beautiful stadium, Tony Gwynn Stadium down in SDSU. But Wednesday night, we are back.
Yes.
We are back Wednesday night at Lake Alice. Pep and I will be hosting the coaches show. We're going to have the new coaches, the new basketball coaches. The entire staff is going to be on the dais.
Yeah, head coach David Patrick, Crocodile DP, will be in the house with a couple of his assistant coaches. They'll be joining us live on the UC Riverside Coaches Show. We also have, track and field, Coach Brown and Coach Hansen, two of our favorites. We've talked to those guys so much.
I talk to those guys all the time, and they're the funniest guys. I look forward to seeing them. They're always a good time to hang out with those dudes.
Yeah, they're great guys. They're a lot of fun. We're going to talk track and field with them. And then also Nikki Palmer, the head softball coach at UCR. She'll join us on the coaches show as well. And her star pitcher, and hopefully I'm getting her name right, Haley Dolcini, who just threw a no-hitter for UCR softball the other day.
Dolcinis are fantastic on sandwiches and pizza.
Yes.
They are. Isn't that what they are? No, those are
pepperoncinis. Close.
My fault. My fault.
Really close.
I gave it a shot.
Really close. I'm going to ask her about the old the milk can game. She's from Fortuna High School. One of the high schools I covered long back in the day.
That's way up there in the northern.
Deep behind the Redwood Curtain.
Yeah, that's a place that doesn't really exist. It's like Wakanda. It's underneath the trees.
Yes.
So you got to find it. Tough place.
You've got to go through the trees, and it looks like you're gonna crash. But no, if you go through there's that one giant tree.
Yes.
You actually go through the middle of it. You drive your car right through it.
Been through it.
That's Fortuna.
There it is.
There's Fortuna. So we're gonna ask her about living way up there and coming all the way down here to pitch for UCR. We come back. We've got a live update of the 76ers and the Celtics in their playoff series. And Carmelo Anthony, will he choose basketball or will he choose the money? We're going to talk about that when we come back. It's the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I played once upon a time at Centennial High School. I was actually on the first ever CIF championship team back in 2000, and then my senior year we won it again. I think that's my passion because I've done it. I know exactly where these athletes are at. I know what their mindset is right now. I know how hard it is to, number one, find a performance coach who can take you to the next level. What sets us apart has to be, how we work with our athletes and what we know. We can take an athlete and help them reach their athletic potential, help them, prevent injuries, help get them stronger. I know every single athlete who steps into this gym. I know exactly where they're at, and I'm going to progress them every week. If you're not getting results, then, what's it about? We're going to deliver something that's measurable, in terms of speed, power, strength, agility.
We focus on the customer here. Believe it or not, that is the biggest thing for customers on an oil change. They just want the convenience of coming in, driving in, getting it done, and driving out. We just greet them, get them going, and they're done in about 10 minutes or so. We don't push any sales on them. We do the oil change, and I think that's what sets us apart is our customer service. Vacuumed and cleaned your windshield for you as well. Everything's looking pretty good. You come into us one time, believe me, we'll spoil you and you'll be ready to come back the next time.
Thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Gorham.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. We are here every single day from 3 to 6 p.m. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That is the Inland Sports Show. Inland like Inland Empire. Get it? Inland. Inland Sports Show.
It makes quite a bit of sense. I really haven't put those two together, but now I have.
I was talking to a gal on the phone from New York today.
New York City?
She's like, where at in Southern California? And I said, the Inland Empire. She said, where's that? I said, no, it's about like, I don't know, hour and a half east of Los Angeles.
An hour from the beach, less than an hour from the mountains.
We got Disneyland. We got baseball.
We have it all here.
We have it all. She was jealous. She was on Long Island.
Yeah, I've been there.
I was like, that place sounds awful.
Yeah. The only thing is they've the Long Island medium, and I think a Long Island iced teas. They're pretty good. You got to have like 6 or 7 of them though before they're really good.
She said, she's like, we got really bad traffic out here in Long Island. I'm like, well, we got really bad traffic in the inland area as well, because whatever freeway you get on, you're going to hit traffic. And she was telling me, you know, between, I think it was where she was at in Long Island to like the more of the city, like Manhattan, it could take anywhere from like 20 minutes to 2 hours, depending on traffic, because there's only so many ways in and out of Long Island.
Yes.
So I said, you know what? You guys have it bad because you're stuck on an island. At least here in the IE, we've got all these main arteries. We got the 60, we got the 10, we got the 15,
and we're always
215.
We're always on the freeway here. Forget the Long Island stuff. We own the freeways because we're always on those darn things.
Darn right.
We got the worst traffic in the world.
Tell her what's up.
Yeah, that's the worst traffic in the world. And guess what? People are listening on the radio.
That's right. We're helping them pass the time away. So
if we were in like somewhere in the middle of the U.S., there's
New
no
Hampshire.
traffic. New Hampshire, where there's no traffic.
Nothing.
No one would ever listen to sports radio because they get home in 5 minutes.
No, you're stuck in your car.
Yeah.
So you know what? As bad as it is in the IE in terms of traffic, it's probably worse than Long Island, but that's okay. We're going to hold it down for you if you're stuck in your car. You're on the 91. You're yelling out your window. Someone's got their blinker on, and they're not turning, and it's just a mess out there.
You pride yourself on that horrible traffic because you are listening to some good radio.
You've got some good radio to pass the time. This is the Inland Sports Show. It's brought to you by Boost Performance Training in Corona with Coach Ray Bass. His team bringing experience, passion, commitment to grooming great athletes. Check out their website, boosttrainingsystems.com. They've got a strength and speed class. That first one's always free in very small class sizes, so you get the most out of each and every class. So Carmelo Anthony's got a big decision to make, Jeff. He is on the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not very good, despite a lot of star power. And basically, you were telling me he's got a decision. He can take a whole lot of money, or he could leave the Thunder and probably not get nearly the amount of money. It probably, I don't know if he's even a starter anymore, to be honest. Maybe some teams might go to Sacramento and be like the guy, but there's not a lot of teams where Carmelo Anthony's still the starter.
Well, let's put it this way. In the 7-game series that they were eliminated in, your great scorer, everyone's great scorer,
my great scorer,
Carmelo Anthony had a total of 7 points in those 7 games, which leads them, what's that average? 1 point in the fourth quarter of those games.
Man.
And I will say this, he is going to sign if he stays and opts into his contract, he will be guaranteed $28 million by the Thunder. $28 million. If he leaves, that means he will be a restricted free agent, and they will offer him, I would guess, a veteran's minimum salary. Do you
said like $5 or $6 million?
Yeah, $5 or $6 million, or do you take the $28 million that Oklahoma City is going to have to
So
build
if they said, okay, Carmelo, you can stay here in OKC, you're going to get $28 million, or you could walk, you could be a starter in, I'm just going to say Sacramento, just for the sake of it. You could be a starter for the Kings, but you're only going to make $6 million. Would you rather be a starter for $6 million or come off the bench for 28?
Keep me on the bench.
Man,
Well, hey.
bench me up.
He is at the end of his career. He is no longer that offensive threat, that explosive threat that he was. Carmelo Anthony is going to have to take the back seat. He's going to have to.
But he doesn't want to.
He's not going to. Hey, the thing is,
Jeff, what would Kawhi tell him?
Kawhi would. You know what Kawhi would tell me? He'd say this.
They don't even show up.
He'd go like this. Because
Nothing.
Kawhi doesn't
Absolutely
say a word.
nothing.
We still haven't heard from Kawhi Leonard. But if I'm Carmelo Anthony, and let's say this, he's won 3 gold medals. He's won a national championship. He's only had one good team that he was the star of, and that was this first year in New York. After that, they went downhill. He's in his second playoff stint. They didn't do anything. Collect your $28 million and then test your test your market the year after
Yeah.
to see where that gets you. I think Billy Donovan next year, if is still the coach, he's going to have to bring Carmelo Anthony off the bench. He's just not productive, and you need somebody to fill that spot.
He's going to be disgruntled. But, you know, from a guy like myself, $28 million seems like $300 billion. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like this crazy amount. Now, for Carmelo Anthony, he's probably like, I got $28 million in the bank. But it's like, how can you pass that up? Just come off the bench. You had a great run in the NBA. You represented Team USA. You had a fantastic basketball career. Just get the money while you can, right? Am I being selfish or greedy? Do I sound greedy? Like, just, no, come on.
No.
Take the money.
Okay, if you were to say who made more money in their NBA career,
okay,
so far,
all right,
LeBron James or Carmelo Anthony, who has made more money?
Don't say Melo.
No, just take a guess.
I would say LeBron. This is not counting sponsorship money,
we
right?
are talking straight
NBA contract.
Straight NBA contract.
Carmelo.
Anthony has made $1 million more than LeBron James in his career.
What career-wise, what has he already made?
$249 million. LeBron,
240. That's a quarter.
Okay,
quarter of $1 billion.
Put that in perspective. So, how does $28 million look to you if you already have $249 million?
I guess like pocket change, but man, that's still $28 million.
You're
Just
gonna
take
end,
it, bro.
Yeah, if you're going to end your career, because he's how many?
You want to start in Sacramento?
No.
Take your money. Come off the bench, man.
He's going to collect that $28 million next year. After next year, LeBron James, he's going to make almost close to $40 million. And then
A
year. So he will pass, and deservedly so, will pass Carmelo Anthony. But Carmelo Anthony's made $1 million more in his career than LeBron James. Let that sink in. And how many more games has LeBron James played than Carmelo Anthony with all of the playoff experience that he has had? It is astronomical, the amount of games that he has played compared to Carmelo.
Unbelievable. Carmelo Anthony. I've never been a fan.
No.
He's a great scorer. I just haven't been a fan. He doesn't do it
Can't
for
guard
me.
his own shadow. A very, very horrible defender.
Right now, NBA playoffs. We got one game tonight. Boston and Philly. The Bees are up right now. Call them the Bees and the C's. 30-29. They're up by 1. Celtics up by 1 on Philly in the second quarter. We'll bring you one more update when we come back. We'll get you all set for Rancho Cucamonga baseball as well. This is the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.
I want to see Francis.
Francis is busy.
Busy doing what?
$100 in prizes.
That's great, mijo. And with the baby coming and everything, the money will come in
In
handy.
art lessons.
We're back to the Inland Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Pep Fernandez and Jeff Corum.
Oh, Greg's Jam. Well, behind Creed and Don't Worry, Be Happy, this is Greg's song.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
This is Pharrell Williams?
Pharrell.
I like Pharrell. He has bad hats, though. Horrible hats. His hat game is terrible.
Welcome back to the Inland Sports Show on Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM. This segment, and it's a very short one as we wrap things up, brought to you by Catalana Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. You can buy, trade, and finance all in the same spot. Ask for the weekly special and save thousands of dollars at Catalana Motors in Corona off of Temescal Canyon Road. Jeff, remember I was talking about the surfing story earlier in the show. I went surfing and the rip curl, the undertow took me way out there with my friends.
Well, you're a little guy.
I am a little guy, but that same friend that I went surfing with, we were in the dorms together. We shared a dorm room together. The only fight we ever got into, because I came home from my class one day, and I said, hey, my parents sent me a care package. You know what he did? He ate my donuts out of my care package.
Are you kidding me?
Has that happened to you?
Oh,
that's a true story.
I'll tell you this right now. I bought a dozen donuts. We were talking about this one off. I bought a dozen donuts. I expected one as the dad. The guy.
If you bought them, it's your donuts.
Oh, mother-in-law gave out all of the donuts. Every one of them. There's 4 kids.
Were they her donuts? Did you say, hey, these are your donuts?
These were my donuts. And I came home. I left the show. I was like, I'm going to have a Krispy Kreme donut.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
And I was going to have my glass of milk, sit down, and I said, where's my donuts? Gone.
She passed them all out.
All 12
Wait, a
gone
dozen?
in a day.
Who ate all 12?
There was 4 kids.
So they all had like 3?
They had to have.
Is it a free-for-all? What's going
apparently
on?
At my house it is. I go through 5 gallons of milk a week. A week, Pep. Yeah. I think those little round sandwiches, those Crustables.
Yeah, with the peanut butter and the jelly.
Oh, yeah, I go through a box of those a week. I'm paying for kids I don't even know. There might as well just be neighbors coming on over. Here, just have some sandwiches.
Eating your donuts, eating your sandwiches, drinking your milk.
Oh.
Your house, Jeff.
Yeah. Anybody want to come on over and get your free food, come on over to the Gorhams. Because I am so tired of feeding these little freeloaders, little extra kids. They're not my kids. Send over some donuts with your children.
Moral of the story is if you buy some good food and you want it, go hide it. Don't let them have it. Go put it in your closet, lock it up in a safe box, do something.
One quick thing. I bought these frozen ice cream Snicker bars.
Yes, very good.
Okay, I bought 3 boxes of them, and I have them hidden underneath some meat in my freezer. They ate all of them.
No!
Yeah, I came home. I went out this weekend, yesterday, to get my box.
Those little
gone.
Those little bugs.
Those little jerks.
Coming up in 50 minutes, it's Rancho Cucamonga taking on the Modesto Nuts on Nuts. Pre-game at 6:50, first pitch 7:05. Old Skoggy Skog, the Skog Dog will have
Skoginator?
We'll see you tomorrow, 3 o'clock right here. The one and only Inland Sports Show, Fox Sports IE, 1350 AM.